Look, crazy ain't the great nerdcore rap guy. Got into a dual fate and I just pulled a trap card. Third-rate rappers with a fourth-rate catalog. Destined for the shadow realm, y'all should never act hard. So insidious that I need an apprentice type. Master with the force, peep the context in my sentence, right? Phantom like the Sithis, just don't ask me what my pen is like. They know that I'm the menace, who you kidding? Bitch, I'm dangerous like. Sweet to drive, hide-headed, rhymes are surely cold. Tested, you can never twist my metal like the jury goes. I ain't never mad when I push it to the max. I got Chris riding with me, bout to turn this bitch to Fury Road. Since animated, I'm the one the crew congratulated. When this will provide protective cover like it's laminated. Damn, I made this 16 like a guillotine is fascinating. If you think that you're ahead, you get decapitated. All that aside, I ain't merely here to rap words. I'm here to tell you who representing for the black nerds. And to remind you, neither one of these are bad words. Biggest living mirrors, they just choose to see it backwards. Who be the leaders of discussion when a topic trends? Dissections got the culture under microscopic lens. Who got the type that you can miss it from the start and make you feel like an expert on the subject by the time it ends? Check the stat, Louis, viewership is mad nice. All these other shows don't seem to cut it, that's a bad slice. Off the books with unscripted jewels you can't write. No vampires, but these interviews on Anne Rice. Yeah, this is the best part. Rhymes on Mandalorian, Independence made a best score. Starting a war with these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life or death star. So far removed from the drama, we don't notice harm, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus charm. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically to sum it up like you define math, this crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. A merry band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. You are now tuned in to Blerd's Eye View. And without further ado, we out. Yeah.
Hey everybody, it is your man on the wall captain of the ship, Chris Fury, back again with another episode of Blerd's Eye View. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get that mic right over here where everybody can really hear this bombastic voice of mine. Let's get that volume down just a tad. There we go. There we go. I was doing voice work and I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, but thank you for tuning in to Blerd's Eye View. We are talking about a lot of stuff today. There's going to be spoilers. I'm just going to put that out there. We're not going to spoil everything, but there are going to be some things talked about that just need to be talked about. And what am I talking about? Well, we'll be talking about Star Wars. Shirko's in the building. Star Wars Japan celebration that just took place last week. We'll also be talking about that, the second episode of the second season of Last of Us, and the ending that we seen coming, just didn't know how to take it regardless. And also, we will be talking about the hit movie by an amazing team led by an amazing director, Ryan Coogler, and that movie is Sinners. We will be crushing it and talking about it, our theories, our takeaways, the praising of that entire cast and crew. Stay tuned. But without further ado, let's get this started. Our griot of horror. Lainey, what's going on, Lainey?
Hi. Who's going first?
Well, my second command hasn't made it in yet. She's getting her libations together.
What's up, man?
What's going on? So I didn't get a chance to catch you and your husband's review of Sinners, but because I've been a busy man today, but I'm sure it was a glowing review because my God.
Listen, we're in April. We've already seen one of the top 5 movies of the year. Hands down. Yes. Okay. And I don't care what comes out afterwards. And there are some things that could be very well liked. But this, I just can't wait to talk about it. I just can't wait to talk about it because I felt so good. And not just being a horror fan, even though I think the only critique that I would have said is this: I wish it was a little bit more horror. But I just
Yeah,
felt
I think for this film, and before, well, we're not going to talk too much about it because we're going to save it for later.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say that I think this is a whole new genre. I think this is a whole new genre of horror that we're getting.
And it's from us. It's created from us by us. So I felt so happy walking away from that theater.
Yeah. I think when Jordan,
everyone's talking about that one scene, which is cool, but
there were some lines, there were some moments. We're gonna get into it. But like I said, I think we're in a whole different realm of another genre of horror, because if Jordan Peele can give us like a psychological horror film, Ryan Coogler is giving us something different too. So, but we'll be tuning in for that later. Shokwo is in the building. What's going on, Shokwo?
How you guys doing?
Are you crying? You're crying.
Crying about what?
I don't know. I just love the way when you say that. That's all.
Oh yeah, I do be saying I'm crying a lot. Yeah. It's really the New Yorkers' fault, like, because it's not something I grew up saying. I went to college and ended up, I had a friend from every borough in New York, and I was like, huh. And then my friend said, he was my Morehouse brother. He was like, what's this? He's like, they were just making funnies, and I kept saying I'm weak. He said she gonna say I'm weak again. I'm weak. And I was like, I'm around you motherfuckers way too much, because I never would say I'm weak until I was around them. Same with I'm crying. Like, yeah, it's their fault.
Okay, because you know what? I'm mad at that from Southerners.
Oh really?
When I went to college, I remember one of my best friends came up and she's like, I'm mad at that. I'm like, what are you mad at? I'm
weak.
And once I went down south, I said, oh, everything is, I'm mad at that. Okay. Hey. So 20 years later, I'm mad at that.
I said that for quite a while. I didn't know where it came from, but I said that for quite a while.
It'd be like that.
Even New Yorkers now say finna. And I'm like, where are you getting that from? Because that's not a New York, that's not even a northern word.
See, I don't know where I got finna from. I feel like I've been saying maybe finna forever. Like, that might have been something that I've said forever, because I don't know. I just say whatever when I'm speaking, like casually.
I'm just going through all the comments. The gang is already here. The gang is here. It's funny hearing Shokwo say it like that.
Yeah, boobies, I'm here.
Oh man, our shipwright Spartan is in the building. What's going on, Black Spartan?
I'm gonna leave that alone between boobies and I'm weak from Shoyo. Where's the click? Where's the keyboard?
Give it time.
I heard you.
It's here somewhere.
We're not whole until we hear click clacks for no reason outside of Shoko.
Hey.
Oh man, come on. Yeah, exactly. We coming on. We talking about the juke joint tonight. Yes. We were free for several hours.
It was about as close to Wakanda feeling as y'all can get, and I'm jealous of all of them.
It was a mixture of Wakanda feeling and Get Out feeling of like,
yeah.
When I tell you,
I will. Like I said, we'll get into it later. There were some lines.
How tempted I was to go to the Grand Line, because every time in our chat, it's great. I'm like, I hate all of you.
He doesn't really hate us. It's just bad timing.
No,
he has it because he had to take the wife. He had to deal with the wife.
The neurovirus ran through my family like like Cat Williams going through most comedians. I'll put it that way. Like,
okay.
It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. It was actually quite terrible.
That's that part. The no bootleg embargoes and full. Yeah, for this is one that you're just like, nah. I got that. Nah, bro. Nah.
This is the one time. This is the one time the DVD guy was nowhere to be found. It's like, dang, this is your peak season. He sat there and said, "No, we're standing down on this one."
10 toes.
Everybody been going to see this movie twice.
Yeah. Boots on the ground. Tafari is in the building. What's going on, Tafari?
You know what, Tafari? I'm gonna give you so much credit because you've seen it before all of us, and you held it together, and that was an amazing film.
He was practically nagging it.
I need to talk about this. Nothing,
I need to talk about this.
I was sitting there for like 3 days, like, well, I can't say shit to y'all or the internet. So this will be.
Yo, bro, you held it together. Hats off.
The way
I do want to go pay money for an actual ticket though, since I got in free. I'm like, let me chip in, and since we got one of the 10 70 millimeter theaters, and apparently now you get a film reel now if you go. I think
that's all the more reason.
Wait, what you talking about?
Yeah,
you can get it's a film.
Yeah, on the 23rd, if you have a theater that will show it in 70 millimeter, you get a film.
Yeah. You get a piece.
You get a piece of the.
That is going to show.
It's only like you have to go to one of the 70 millimeter theaters only though, because that's I think that's what
which one is.
Yeah, if your IMAX.
There's not that many in the United States, so there's really only a few. So
almost every state has one. I know in Tennessee we only have 3, and they're all in Nashville. So I know we only have 3 inside of our state. I can only imagine everywhere else outside of major cities like New York, Atlanta, and other spots they may have more. But yeah,
some people. I don't think every state has one because people been saying they had to cross state lines to go see some.
Oh, I've crossed state lines for less.
Yeah.
To see what? Just see Sinners?
To see Sinners in the 70 millimeter format.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I thought it opened wide.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Yeah, it's definitely especially if you're a cinephile. This is I have a cell from the first Black Panther that it's posted. I got it in a frame and everything. Like you got to you have to have a really be a big cinephile to want something. And this is it's an unprecedented movie. It really is. It's an original piece. You want to own this in every format possible, just to own it. But
yes, 7 millimeter film. It's almost like the Hateful Eight, Bama. I think the Hateful Eight was 70 millimeter film.
It was. Yeah.
Hateful Eight and Oppenheimer were like the last 2 big ones.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of those. It's one for the books. Definitely one for the books. Outside of that, of blowing that barn door wide open. How's everybody's week been?
It's okay.
My allergies are trying to kill me.
This week or just a week?
If I could think of the words I said the last podcast when you asked me that and put that on an audio track, that would sum up the week.
Oh, no.
And it's only Tuesday.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. I actually can't remember much. That's a good one.
There's not a 70 millimeter one near me. The closest one is AMC Lincoln Square.
Dang.
I still got to look mine up because I said I would try to go again tomorrow. So.
No, there ain't none in Ohio, hon.
Ohio's dry.
Man.
It's Arizona, California, Florida, Indiana, and Texas.
Okay, so there it is. We have an IMAX, but they play the 2. I know one is in Crocker Park, not Crocker.
Is that AMC or is that Regal?
I think that's what they've been saying. Like, just even the IMAX, like there's IMAX, and which people have been calling it, oh, well, that's fake IMAX. And it's like, it's not fake IMAX. It's just not the 70 millimeter IMAX that you're looking for, which is why there's not that many. But there are IMAXs everywhere. It's just that the 70 millimeter one
is the harder to get.
Yes, that's the one that they specifically used, and they recommend, if you can go see it on that.
I mean, because let's be honest, have you seen the machine have you seen the machine that thing has to run through? Mm-hmm. I was like, you might as well use that for cotton candy and just come out and just make bank. As Kira,
I want that cup.
Kira with the promotion. Go ahead, Kira, with the promotion.
What's up, Kira?
I did not see that cup in my theater.
It's in ours.
Yes, you didn't go to the IMAX.
I'm crying. Look at her. Not she in here with her arrogance, Lord.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Before we get to the other stuff, here's the thing. This is the the whole rage as of late has been popcorn buckets and cups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they have it, they didn't really push it.
No, they did not.
They sure didn't.
But I didn't care neither because I'm like, I'm here for this film.
They didn't have a bucket and they really didn't have too many things and I think even for like that cup, and they had those cups and then the popcorn, just the regular popcorn buckets, but not really that. So but they weren't at every single theater, so it's like I think it was just kind of like you got lucky or not, because they were still selling the Captain America buckets at my theater that I went to. They didn't have nothing else. So
I wonder if that was done on purpose, though, because I mean, the movie was going to be great on its own. I didn't think it needed really no advertisement.
So, I guess we can go ahead and get into it. And why not? Because it is so much to cover. So why not? So let's get this started. First, I want to shout out Comics at the Corner. If you are in the Cleveland area, you can come out May 3rd, which is Free Comic Book Day weekend. It'll be from 1 to 3, and it'll be at the Rice Branch Cleveland Library on Shaker Boulevard in Cleveland, Ohio. Come on out, have some fun. They give out free comics. Amazing team that I had a chance to meet at the Kicks and Comics event that Candy B threw this past weekend. Also, they support literacy functions and everything else under the sun. So they have some great stuff. So if you're in the area of Cleveland, Free Comic Book Day weekend, come out to the Rice Branch Cleveland Library at 11535 Shakers Boulevard in Cleveland, Ohio, from 1 to 3. There's plenty of time to get all these free comics. So shout out to that team. They did amazing work. Also, I ran into a guy by the name of Paris. Hold on.
Ooh. Hi, Bama. Hi, Whoopty.
He does some very interesting artwork, and he takes like destroyed comics or magazines or both. And wait, hold on. Mayhem's in the building. What's going on, Mayhem?
Mayhem. Here comes
Chaos himself.
He takes old comics and magazines, and he tears them up and he makes art out of them. So I bought 2 pieces off of them. This is MF Doom. This is one of my favorite pieces. But here's the beautiful thing about this piece. Right here, you see the mask and him holding the mic. But there's another way you can post it, and it's this way, where you see the mask and him holding the mic.
Nice.
So it can go either way. You can post it either way. You still get the mask. The other piece, and I had to have this. I said, I got too much Black Panther on the wall, so I got another goddess.
Nice.
So he takes a lot of these pieces and he just, he said he does it with quite a few of them. The MF Doom one is like one of the ones where he started superimposing different angles on it. So he started playing with it. Really dope pieces, came with the frames, $20, not bad. So support the Blerd creatives out there. So shout out to Paris. I don't believe he has his IG up running yet, but I'll reach out to him and find out. But yeah, it was a minute. It was a moment at Kicks and Comics. Shout out to Candy B, Crazy 8 the Great, who also has a piece later on in the show that we'll be premiering. So a lot of fun. In other news, Star Wars Japan happened last week, Thursday. As a matter of fact, it started Thursday. It started Thursday, and they had quite a bit of news drops. Lady Mandalore, I know you're going to help me with this one. So they had some really, number one, they had some great art pieces. This Vader is one of them. One of the announcements that they had was they were going to do a movie called Star Wars Starfighter, which takes place after The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. It takes 5 years. It takes place 5 years after The Rise of Skywalker. Directed by Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy, starring Ryan Gosling. Which at first, Lady Mandalore was like, "I am not a fan of Ryan Gosling," and then she found out Sean Levy was attached, and her tune changed just a little bit, just a little bit.
It's all right. It's all right.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Trepidatious about Ryan. Not that I dislike.
Not trepidatious.
We use big words over here.
Mr. Milchick in the building.
Oh boy.
At first, I was forlorn, and then I just became simply trepidatious.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's going to be a great project. I think what they're lining up over for a lot of their things is turning out to be quite well. Let's see what's going on in the chat real quick.
Yes, Mal, to answer your question. In honor of the West Coast, there's a little bit of gin and juice in my cup.
Didn't I say she had to go get her libations together? Nobody believed me.
I believed you 100%. It's every time.
Right. It's just the gin and juice part that we have a problem with. She says.
Who's we?
I don't know.
Yes, because I can't have it. Yes, I'm a little mad because I can't have it.
That's why. Okay, that's different. I was about to say that's where we get the best of Mandalore. What do you mean?
Easter is over now.
You ain't been in the chat.
Yeah,
I'm crying.
Yeah. So Sam Witwer is back voicing Darth Maul. They're going to be doing the Darth Maul animated series, Maul Shadow Lord. Mm-hmm. That's going to be fun.
Edge Lord.
Right.
Stop it.
Why?
If you paid him enough, he'd probably say it. Also, they also mentioned another animated series that has turned out very well. Season 3 of Visions will be coming. So that's definitely going to be on a lot of people's list. Visions was an absolute game changer. I think they seen the work that what Netflix does with Love, Death, and Robots. Mm-hmm. And this is a great spin to that.
It's the best way to say, let me do a Star Wars series, but let me show you one episode why you should hire us.
It is like America's best next best talent in animation.
But the beauty part about it is there's never a bad episode.
What? Don't come for me, y'all. I'm just asking a question. Why do y'all like it? Why do y'all like that series?
Visions?
Yes.
Same way with like What If. Give somebody a chance to write a story and let's see what they do with it.
Yeah, it's filler. It's filler in that episode. Between that one and Tales of the Jedi, was it Tales of the Jedi? Yeah, they're like filler episodes. We've been wanting different stories, even if they're one shots.
And also different animation because we've seen what happened. I'm sorry, Lane. I didn't mean to talk over you, Lane. Go ahead.
That's okay. I was going to say for me, it's not obsessed with the Skywalker side.
That part.
Like we're going away. We're seeing different stories that have really just nothing to do with Luke.
Very much. Luke is cool, but there's other stories we could tell. You know,
I don't mind Luke or a Han or even a Leia popping up. I just don't want the episode or this whatever the project is surrounding that. It's fine if you give me if like it's a path cross or something. I don't need.
I'd be happy with
this is another little Skywalker story.
I'd be happy to see how Chewbacca and Han got together with the Kessel Run. You can turn that into a whole anime series for 30 minutes.
But that's what we had. That's what we had the Solo story for.
Yeah, I'm about to say that wasn't Solo,
which does not get enough appreciation because that's not a bad film.
It's not a bad film, just bad timing when it came out.
It was alright.
I just said don't come for me. I didn't say it was bad. I just asked specifically.
She's not talking to us. She's talking to the crowd.
Wait, what? No, I'm talking to Shoyo's little behind too, because she came from my neck too. I didn't say it was bad.
First of all,
I said don't come from my neck. I've been watching it too. Shit.
Now you got to put Shoyo up on the screen. That was funny.
First of all, okay.
We didn't even hear the keyboard.
It's the first of all.
I don't know. It's like it's just so funny because I don't know why she act like I'm not doing this on purpose. Because
No. I know you're doing it on purpose. No. I'm not saying I dislike it. Here's my
you preface the thing like, I need to preface this so y'all don't come for me, but I have something to say that you're not gonna like.
But I sit here and I question myself, what is it that I actually do like about that series? I like the art, but I don't hear anybody say there's a standout story from that series. Like it's very.
That's fair. No, that's fair. No, that's actually fair.
I think it's fair because of the time in between. Like as Visions is coming out, everybody's talking about episode after episode after episode, and then after it's run, it's like crickets because what you don't see, you're not gonna remember. So
I know they did announce, and I can't remember what the name of the series is, but it's very anime. And it's dealing in Star Wars. I can't remember that. See, I wish I could remember the name of the series because I didn't grab it.
It's not in the Visions thing.
It might be. It might be in the Visions.
Yeah,
because I've seen there's one. There was a post that I seen a couple of years ago. That it was a complete fan made edit, and it was very animated. Like they had the TIE fighters and it had the pilots getting in the TIE fighters and everything. It was Visions. It
had to be Visions.
That was Visions season 1.
I didn't watch.
Was that
Visions,
it?
And when Visions came out,
I can't say the exact episode.
They were saying that this is like an anime version of Star Wars.
Right.
I remember when it came out.
I mean, it looked fantastic. You know, once again, proving that you get the right animators.
Oh, it looked very Cowboy Bebop. I wasn't complaining.
Yeah. Everybody's favorite father and son duo, and I'm not talking about Goku and Gohan. The Mandalorian.
Oh Lord, this is too much.
Look, there was somebody let the leak out of the teaser before the panel, and I gotta say,
that shit.
Damn.
Damn.
I was like, oh, okay. Din Djarin is taking out like 13 stormtroopers in a hit. Would have been 14 if dude hadn't closed that blast door.
Right.
Well, I have a feeling. Doesn't he have the hi boo boo doesn't he have the dark saber?
No, I think Bo-Katan has it now.
Yeah, because Bo-Katan basically she won by proxy.
Bo went on her Zelda adventure last season and got her. That is her master sword.
Yeah, pretty much.
I appreciate that reference.
It's like I didn't win by combat. I won by proxy.
Also, shout out to whoever leaked the trailer. Thank you for sacrificing every invite to everything ever again. I hope the Disney assassins made your end like Swift.
We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for your service.
Actually, is it even still up? Because I've been peeping a few sneak peaks.
Is that a count? Is that a count still active? That's the real question.
Is that a count still active? Because that kind of tells a story about the said person.
So and also in great Star Wars news, Ahsoka season 2 is coming back. We already knew that.
Oh, I hate that hair on her.
It's terrible. It's a wig though, but because she had long hair the day before, and I was like, "Oh, that's a color." And then I said, "Oh no, that's a color."
She lost a bet.
It's bad when you say it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Not saying it's a good or a bad one, but it's a choice.
I mean, you couldn't find a straight iron anywhere.
She had a high ponytail the day before, so something's going on.
Did you go through a car wash and catch it?
Oh, look at her.
I'm suspicious of what she's done to her actual hair, because if all of those were wigs, what's going on underneath that mop, boo? What's going on?
Unless it's for another project.
That's for another project.
So
something.
And if she's covering it up, then that said project could probably give it away, whatever her hairstyle is.
Right? Did she go full on smooth?
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know.
I went full on smooth.
Very well, could have very well done that case.
The Jada Pink.
So replacing our guy will be Roy McCann.
Yeah.
Who played the Hound in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But I didn't see nobody else actually stepping up to that role outside of him. There was just no way. There was no way.
Daddy Filoni was playing around with, I don't think I'm gonna do the series at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So y'all better shut your mouths about this man. I don't care if he plays it with a whole ass different accent. Shut the fuck up.
But isn't their accent aren't their accents close the same? Aren't they the same?
I don't
never heard them. I can't remember man talking.
No, I think the original guy is British, but Rory is Irish, I believe.
It can work.
But to say all that to say I don't give a fuck.
Because they made a great pick. You know, so
give me what I want.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about Last of Us season 2, episode 2. Our thoughts. I have a thing, but we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Until then, you know what? Let's wait for that one. Until then,
wow.
Yeah, well, they're gonna get this. They're gonna get this action.
That was a Gary Payton level pump fake.
The visual and auditorial blue balls.
The Omaha was nice there.
Well, hold it for a while. Hold it for a minute.
Oh.
Blerd's Eyeview is a proud affiliate of Otaku Noir. Use the code Blerd's Eyeview for 10% off on all items. With a different nerd-themed box filled with items made by talented Blerds across the country, you surely will not be disappointed. Go to otakunoir.com. Otaku Noir, the #1 Blerd mystery box company.
Not too long ago, I was a nobody till I bodied everything I touch. Open them red gates, I ain't never been scared of a demon, I eat them for lunch. Leaving they bodies covered up in dust, running up my level, they ain't got the guts. Had to cut them out, I ain't had enough, thought I was a noob calling out bluff. I'm in a different bracket, I'm the one causing the racket. My shadow on me got my back when it's game time. Ain't no key binding, we gon' find a way to hack it. You need a code to beat me, I'm him. Bet you won't do it again. S rank, send your best raid, I'ma leave with the win. They think I am the weakest link. Oh, little do they know I am the one true king. I don't need mercy, I don't need fame. I don't need it. I rewrite legends, I seal their graves. Shadows rise when I command. I decide how this world ends. I don't need mercy, I don't need fame. I seal their grave.
I was considered the weakest, confidence shattered to pieces. A future like that is the bleakest. So much regret that you never know peace. This is my moment to know what my peak is. They joking but don't know my reasons. Of course I know I could die, but if I don't try, then what will that teach us? Maybe to each his own, defeat is thrown, and I'm never able to reach the throne. Or all of a sudden my knowledge is something inside of this dungeon that keeps us going. Shit, maybe this speech is born, and you'll do anything to keep them snoring. But listen, the system put me in position, got every intention to keep on growing. Past rank, word the old me, my gas tank never on E. Make fast bank with my own team, my last name was what they gon' sing. It's sung. Jinwoo, my dagger slashing like Gensu. To make it fancy, I split you. Then necromancy uplifts you. Uprise. Take a look in my eyes. Who the king here? You don't see fear. Please don't seem so surprised. Everything has a price. The things I've sacrificed. I'll never be the same. When I beat this game, greatness seems to be the prize.
I don't need mercy. I don't need fame.
I don't need it.
I rewrite legends. I seal their graves.
Let them know.
Shadows rise when I command.
Arise.
I decide how this world ends. I don't need mercy.
I don't need it.
I don't need fame.
Yeah.
I seal their graves.
I seal their graves.
All right.
Well,
That was the new cut by Crazy at the Great. Called "Seal Their Graves." The Sung Jinwoo rap, as he calls it.
mm-hmm.
Shout out to Crazy at the Great. He always got some good stuff for me. It's fun. So, season 2, episode 2 of Last of Us. We seen it coming. I'm not sure if we seen it coming in this fashion. That face. No. That face is exactly how I felt.
It's the face for me. I'm crying.
That was like a doubted face.
I don't know what this face is.
Thank you. I was about to say that was like I feel mad about it.
That face is the gin and juice is starting to hit.
No, that's a fuck.
I'm like, really?
If they were going for shock factor, they nailed it.
Did they?
Yeah. Because we kept saying how are they gonna do this? Because we knew it was coming. Huh?
To the face? No, Chris. He's like, did they? Like, you want to see the gold face to the face?
You're looking for shock and awe.
Mm-hmm.
You're just more disappointed in how it went down. You're just like,
because they did deviate, and I think that's where a lot of people are kind of a little bit disappointed because they deviated the setup.
Wait a minute. I think my face has been
so many different opinions on
wait
here.
a minute.
That's why we're here for.
Misinterpreted.
I think Chris, you need to go by each tile.
I will. So Spartan, you go first. Normally it's the women's, but I'm letting Spartan.
Oh no!
You said they deviated, so explain.
Well, okay. For all those that haven't played part 1 or part 2, again, there's this. It's a simple play. Okay, so Abby is actually found by Joel and his brother. He isn't. I mean, that's how initially it starts. Abby doesn't start the avalanche, and the town isn't attacked. Basically, the Horde is attacking Joel while Abby is with him and his brother. At the same time, Abby pretty much leads him to where the rest of her friends are at, as basically saying, "Okay, I can use this as a distraction." Ellie eventually does find Joel, but her and Dina that's a whole nother situation. But again, the whole setup deviated because the town gets attacked. So it's a big red herring how the whole setup happens, but in the end, it's still the same. But I can see where some people say it doesn't have the same effect. I mean, we also didn't know that part was going to happen this early. I kept on saying they're going to stretch it out, but shock factor.
Now, I thought the same thing about them stretching out, but then as it happened, I thought about it. I said, this man is carrying Hollywood on his back right now. So he's like in everybody's project. So it's a point. He's just like, you know what? I got a kid and a couple planets to take over right now. I don't have time.
Right. You got Marvel and Disney talking about putting you to work.
Yeah. I got things going on. I got a kid on the way with my wife and brother-in-laws, and
he got a newborn, a toddler, and a teenager to take care of. So
yeah,
there you go.
It's a lot. He's going through typical dad stuff. He was like, you know what? I really got the time. Soccer practice, wrestling, baseball. So, I can't come to the PTA meetings today. So,
you ain't wrong.
So, Lady Mandalore, what was the misinterpreted face?
My face was tense, just tense, just tension, a lot of tension. But what is going on? Oh, wait, you're doing it now? Now? Wait, I don't hate her. I'm supposed to hate this one. I don't hate her. Well, I need to hate her a little bit more. Why don't I hate her? I'm supposed to hate her. I don't understand. I'm confused.
Does it come on?
They set her up better. That's why.
What you're asking is how everyone played when we felt the game, because it was just like the fact that you got your employees is like, if you don't tell people up front, you're just gonna piss off everybody. So I'm just gonna leak this to all the Discord chats and Facebook chats, and then we still watch it happen. It's just like, what the fuck is this? We just met you. They at least let you know why
it comes on, and even then, the why of her being angry, you're just like, really? You know what your daddy was doing?
We fast forwarded. Fast forward.
You don't find out in the game until way later, so that's why.
Wait, you don't find out. You don't find out what the reason behind him getting killed.
Yes, in the game, you don't find out until way later. Like I think
what you
once
mean?
you actually take.
So as Ellie. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lanny. Go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, because the way that they have the game. First off, you are introduced to Abby as just first of all man, woman. That's number one. Number two, then they just have her attack Joel. They're like everyone's looking for Joel or whatever. They're looking for Joel. Then number three, you have her campaign, and then you have Abby's campaign. You have Ellie's campaign, and you have Abby's campaign. You have a little sprinkled of like flashbacks of understanding why Joel and Ellie are displaced the way they are, but like the way that the game plays, it's very discombobulated. So the way that Neil Druckmann and them doing this, they're like, you know what, we're that kind of what Tafari said. We're gonna tell you up front who she is and why her motivation. It was very clear because they didn't even have a funeral, much less them saying like, oh, I'm gonna kill him so because that's my dad. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew who this woman was when you first actually get involved in the game. So that's why, like, I even said like they at least gave her a chance. Because you're right. You kind of get why she's doing it. But there was so much hatred for this character and even for her voice actress. Like her voice actor was getting death threats.
And that's sad.
Some of y'all got to stop out there.
That was because nobody knew what she had actually done.
Even after like they found out, because like, come on, what? After maybe 2 or 3 days of people playing the game, people started leaking out what happened and who she is. But nope, it was like, yo, I'm gonna give them death threats. Like it was serious.
And that's another thing I want to say for all y'all people out there need to touch grass. These actors get to play roles that we would love, and again, you would love to get to play the role of Abby. She may not be the buff Abby from video games, but it's an actor getting a role of a lifetime to play a character in a game, and she herself has taken it upon herself to be very careful about Abby's character. At the same time, it's not like you spent money on it. Some of y'all need to go outside and go touch some doggone grass and stop really with the whole death threats. That's what it killed Star Trek almost. They near almost killed Star Wars. And you'll kill almost every other faction out there just because some of y'all feel the need to go straight and to go to the actor and harass them. It makes no sense to do that.
It's a pattern that consistently repeats itself.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it way too many times to the point that it affects the actor's personal life, and we've seen it. The actor who played a young Anakin, we've seen it. We've seen it happen with Christian Haydenson. We've seen it happen with Ahmed Best. We've seen this time and time again. Y'all are sick. Rosemary Tran, it happened with her. You know John Boyega. John Boyega is one of the few that said, "I bet the hell you won't."
That was I wish you would moment.
Yeah.
I wish you would.
They tried it, and he was just like, I'll answer back.
Look,
you know where I stay.
But I mean, but that's why I said. That's why I say it's crazy. These are just guys. These are actors. I don't mean actors in just general. They just get to play roles that anybody else. If you sat there and said, "Hey, would you like to play the role of Joel from The Last of Us, or would you like to do XYZ?" We all jump at the chance. But at the same time, just if you're gonna be hate the same way Chris Brown fans hate him quietly.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you know what it is?
Y'all still paying for them tickets, though, ain't you?
Right.
What you got, man?
Nah, the Chris Brown fans part threw me off. I was not expecting that.
I mean, that was the joke I was going with. We're all victims of 2010 when You Got Served came out, and it was like, oh, Chris Brown is in it. That nigga didn't make it to the opening credits.
That was Stomp the Yard.
Yeah.
I know you didn't say
children.
I mean,
Look, my bad. It was a bunch of dance movies coming out around the same time. I got dragged to all of them.
The classics.
That's very true.
Yeah, You Got Served is a classic, man.
Look, I just remember even the director was like, "Why did you only have them for 10 minutes?" Like, first off, it was 7 minutes, but we had them in there because
they wanted to come watch the movie.
As people, we've all been okie doke before. We were not prepared for it. We were not happy with a game where the people working on it was like, y'all are about to get pump faked so damn hard.
Right.
So,
how do you have a whole second character in a trailer and then you delay it by 2 months till after people already bought the game? It just they set I don't think she deserved the death threats, but they set Homegirl up for failure by trying to keep all that under wraps as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And then people are playing the game damn, is Ellie still in this at all? And then you have to go beat Ellie's ass as a boss fight.
And to a bigger point, even the way that they marketed, there are some things that you could have sworn she was talking to Joel. Mm-hmm. There's one point in specifically that she's actually talking to Jesse, but it looks like in the trailers that she's talking to Joel. So you're thinking that he's going to be out there. You're going to be playing as him too. It was a whole mess.
So here's my question. So, because I haven't played the game, I just know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that the effects of we've seen in the game do not compare to what we've seen in this episode?
I think the episode
doesn't have the same effect. I'm sorry, doesn't have the same effect. Go ahead, man.
Mayhem.
Man, go ahead, Mayhem. You got it.
I want to say, because I'm in the same boat as you, Chris. I know the story, but I've never actually played the game. So everything Tafara and Spartan have said, as far and Lainey, as far as the backlash that happened, I'm all actively aware of that. I, in this moment, am, I guess, sort of fortunate to know a number of people that have never played the game but were really into the show. The internet, my timeline flipped upside down. People are like, wait a minute, hold on, did this happen in the game? What's going on?
That kind of not know. Oh,
no, people were disheveled. This is they were undone because no one we're very in the loop with all this information. No one thinks Pedro Pascal is getting killed off in episode 2.
It's like Star.
Because we know what we know, it's I don't think it's ever going to hit the same. But people that were just going in fresh, devastated.
Yeah.
Devastated.
Okay.
But that's the thing though. That's why I was saying that because I've played, I know me, Tafara, Lainey, we've all played 1 and 2 multiple times. So I'm sorry. Well, my bad. The setup though is where some people, like I said, you have to distance yourself. There's some things you can do in a video game realm that you cannot do in a live action. So that's the reason why there had to be some adjustments. Now the issue is just that some people got mad because we didn't really get to understand Abby. okay, here's a wonderful idea. Instead of complaining about the setup, because some did like those basement incels did, go play part 2. Go play the first 45 minutes of part 2. You will get all the reason in the world why you will hate Abby in 45 minutes. You don't even got to play the entire game, just the first 45 minutes. At the same time, except that this is what they can do in a limited space. That's why a lot of things you do in video games, you cannot do in live action. So you have to find ways of adjusting it at the same time. Still try to keep true to it. So I'm not mad about how they did Abby's setup. Yes, it was fast forwarded because, again, if you didn't play part 2, you did get you got Joel's death first, but then you got the explanation, like Lane was saying afterwards. As you play through Abby's campaign and Ellie going back to the hospital, you see the reasons why both of them want to go after each other. It's just the fact that you get that later in the game, though.
See, now before I get to Lady Mandalore, I was taking it his early, aka maybe premature death as this man is doing a lot already. Mm-hmm. See, he may not have time. Shooting. The man is shooting Mandalorian Grogu. The man he's getting press tours for Fantastic Four, so he's shooting that. Man, there's not a lot of time. He's just like, I know this character dies. I just need to. How do we fix this? Because I can't kind of continue everything because I'm gonna jam up I'm gonna jam up the big money. Is what I'm saying.
I feel very confident that we are going to see Joel in some sort of flashback here and there because Pedro Pascal is money. They shot you. They got to wipe him off the board for 5 seconds. Like maybe an episode goes by, we don't see him. But nah, that's too much bread that his beautiful face brings in that they just like to be actually done. I don't believe
for that very reason though, just like you're thinking, they could be like, yeah, but what if we don't want to pay him though? Like, I'm sure that they have the money, and I'm sure that you probably like they could edge y'all out and be like, they're gonna keep watching every episode because they feel like we're gonna show him.
Yeah,
I think the thing is, how do you stretch his cameos to season 2 and 3? I don't see how they can make that happen.
You have the time skip of 5 years with Ellie. You can do whatever you want.
No, I'm not talking about. Okay, I hear what you're saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying about like the amount. They're gonna have to. I think they're gonna have to put in some fillers because the amount of flashbacks I don't think can justify for like, let's say 7 to 8 episodes across 2 seasons, not one.
I don't think there's going to be that many flash. I think maybe
that's my point. I don't think they're going to pull an arrow. I don't think they're going to do a flashback every 5 minutes. I don't think they're going to do.
Yeah, you're basically saying this is at maximum. This is his final season.
That's my point.
Because
You're then not going to go through basically all out war.
Because Last of Us, the season is done. So I'm sure whatever they do, this stuff has been shot already.
Right.
It's like that was his time. He like I said, he's Fantastic Four, Star Wars stuff. Like your window is like, hey, this is all I got. This is it right here. You got the what we doing. I know what's happening. I've read about I know about it. I've read about it.
Yeah, he's got there's a few scenes that we still haven't seen that are pivotal to the story. I hope they don't spread them out like one season apiece. Like I think after the New Year's party when he's outside with the guitar, and they just cut to, there's a whole convo that happens after that.
Yep.
Her little come to Jesus moment after their final face off, which that was in the apocalypse, the dumbest thing you can do during a fight is stick your hand in someone's mouth. So yeah, I think they'll have some original films. Everyone had a relationship with this man.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, there's at least three to four ones that are canon that they have to go through at least.
Yeah. So, Lady Mandalore, what did you What was your takeaway?
I liked the episode. I thought it was very suspenseful. It made sense to me. I didn't play the game. I cheated and looked on YouTube. So there were still things. I don't care. There were
People have
still
done worse.
things that I could pick out where I was like, wait a minute, that didn't. The fuck? What's going? Wait, that didn't. Something's off. Something's off. But I was still okay with it because to me, like hearing everybody say, "Oh, it didn't make any sense," the second game, blah 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 blah. I felt like this was a good way to clean all that up so we can move past this fucking point and get to the rest of the story. Which is what,
because there's ways to look at. Like, I did not dislike it. I didn't hate it.
Right.
I was just like, oh wow, I wasn't, and then once again, my political mind, I'm like, this man is about to be busy for the next 2 years. He's kind of locked in right now, so that's why I was just like, oh. But in the same time, the only disappointment I had, it was like, she got the drop on you with the shotgun. Okay.
shotgun?
She shot him with, not shotgun, but with the rifle.
Yeah, she got him with the rifle. Yeah,
so she got in there, but then
I think in the game it was a shotgun to both kneecaps.
She only shot him in the one leg, and even him just like. She was going into her villain monologue. I was feeling the same. He was. He's like, "Would you shut the fuck up and get it over with?"
I wish that's one of the few changes I wish they would have. Tell him, Zarian. I wish they would have kept the original line because he was like, "All right, whatever big evil speech you got, hurry up with it."
Right. Because Abby didn't really have a monologue in the game. That's why I was tripping off of. Like, they gave her a full-on monologue. She just went ahead and went to work.
She shot him. Punched him a bunch beat him with the club, punched, and then he's like, she walks away, and that was the first thing my mind went to. I'm like, here's the villain monologue. He stops her dead stop. Like, shut up and get it over with.
Like, I understand maybe keeping Ellie's identity a secret, but no mention of like your dad brought a blade to a gunfight. Like, it was
right.
Like, clearly, you didn't care about the other soldiers. Your man pulled some scissors. I put him down. Big deal.
I mean, you didn't think about the fact your dad did try to stop him with a scalpel,
Right. Like,
but that's the thing. She has no idea what happened in there.
I'm saying I'm surprised Joel didn't bring that up. Like, I can understand not bringing it up.
It was 5 fucking years ago. Why the fuck do I care about this bitch showing the fuck up out of the blue? I ain't got to tell you shit.
The crazy part was the memory. Look, it was a self-realization afterwards where she sat there and said, just like back in the hospital, and he put 2 and 2 together, like,
you must be his kid.
Yeah, once you put 2 and 2 together, hey, your dad pulled a blade, I put him down. It's kill or be killed out here. Like,
okay, so Safari, you did forget that he slaughtered a hell of a lot more people than just the person with the chapel.
It's very clear she cared about none of those people because what is the sister's name that he shot? Who was their friend in the beginning? You see, she didn't even get named. She just was put over with the rest of the bodies. It was like, you shot through a lot of people. By the way, this doctor, I'm like, clearly we see was important. Also, I appreciate the fact that they're at least better selling how not with this your friends are. Like, they came for the journey. They didn't think they were actually going to find the one piece. Like,
you know what? I think that they did that to make them even more palatable to people who followed the game and had a really bad reaction.
Yeah, they were shook. They were shook when she did it.
We get no reaction in the game. We just show up, they restrain her, and then they all spit on Joel's corpse and leave. Like, that's our introduction. That is our introduction to them. At least in this one, it's like, hey, we didn't think you'd actually pull this off. Like, can you wrap it up? Because this is clearly making us all uncomfortable. Also,
old boy told her, he said, finish it. Like, he was like, we didn't come here for torture. Just
I would not
think this was going to happen.
Like, I would not be. I'm not shocked if their whole friendship like slowly becomes a fallout when they get back to wherever they go, especially if Isaac's character, I think his name is like very true to how he goes and being the military man. Yeah. I was okay with the swaps because it gives more people motivation to do stuff versus like, ow, my feelings. I'm gonna go like risk everyone's safety just because. Like Dina being with Joel instead of Tommy, that works out for me because at least like one, I don't need to see her and Ellie getting high and fooling around while Joel is getting beat to death, because why?
Right.
Also, Dina at this point, or by next episode, or at some point between New Year's, Joel dying, and this road trip, it gets knocked up with somebody else's kid.
What's
sorry?
the kid?
Oh,
what's the base kid?
No, she don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me not say that.
So I don't know if they're gonna go to that point, but I'm saying this is what was stupid about it. Dina goes off and has her own like fun phase while Joel is getting buried, and then it's just like, sure, I'll go with you across the country when I probably didn't even tell the other person who could take my place. And then they get a bunch of people innocently killed. Here's how I describe the game for people who've never seen it. This is like if you introduce Tony in all the trailers for Civil War, but psych, Viola Davis actually just shoots Tony before the opening credits, and instead of now it's the Avengers getting revenge, but we spent a whole half of the movie watching it from Viola's perspective.
So it's like the other guys. It's Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, but you're showing us The Rock and Sam Jackson, and they died 5 minutes into the film.
And and then we get introduced to the other guys, and we have to watch everyone they know and love get capped. And you're like, we don't care. We just met these people. But Tommy, I like the way what they did with Tommy, because this gives more risk and reward for him getting involved, because now he's not just somebody's husband. He's like important to that entire structure, because he was the one getting everyone into place when the invasion happened. So now,
yeah, that's true.
So now if he gets hurt or injured, which may or may not still be the case, he's now like disrupting his home as well as the entire ecosystem of that city. Also, I don't know if they'll put 2 and 2 together, but Abby waking up the herd now makes her like enemy of the state for everyone there, technically.
Right.
She kind of woke it up, but then you guys told me that the tendrils woke it up too. So
that's what I couldn't figure.
I don't think that's gonna play.
I agree with that.
I couldn't figure that part. I'm like, was it a coincidence, or were the tendrils like telling them?
They had been shown in the previous episode.
That's my thing.
They was going through the pipe. Yeah, they were going through the pipe.
Yeah, but so my question is,
shout out to the Blerd.
Why didn't nobody fucking say some shit about the goddamn tendril? Somebody saw it, right? Like somebody.
Yes, I think somebody did.
I don't know if they knew what they were
looking at.
They cracked open the pipe. They cracked open the pipe. They saw the tendrils, came and got Tommy, and then they looked over and saw the zombies coming.
And then they had to get
And then Tommy starts alerting everyone, ring the bell, get the stuff in place, get the gas cans.
No. I'm talking about in episode 1.
The previous show, the previous.
They just thought it was vines.
Because remember, it's still it's still in the pipe. They didn't see it until they cracked the pipe open this episode.
Right.
Yeah.
It was still
at that time, Dina went to Joel, was talking about, we found things in the pipes, and he sat there and said, well, that's the reason why that's the reason why we're cutting up and replacing them. They didn't actually dig that deep enough to actually see it. So as the viewer, you saw it, but as to the rest of the world, it's just
that's
like,
what I was questioning. I didn't know.
I was assuming. Because I could have swore somebody had seen it because they were there.
He flicks the cigarette, and then you get a front shot of the pipe where it lands, but like standing over it, you wouldn't be able to see it because we're getting like a straight shot into it versus over the top when they saw it and realized. And then I guess I don't know, maybe they realized they were exposed and then the zombies woke up, but also the fact that they're showing that these things have evolved. Because in the game, they literally throw you into a building. It's like, oh, right, stalkers exist, by the way. Meet your new enemy. Versus the way they've been introduced, which is like they actually they're being tactical and they're hiding under the corpses of their own.
Now I like how they did that. The fact that they did show intelligence, like they just basically buried themselves on top of each other and waited it out. I said, okay, I like that, because you're pretty much saying this is how they're evolving. They're not strategically thinking, but it's almost like hive mind thinking. I like that.
That's just survival thinking.
Mm-hmm. You kind of saw that in the previous season where they had that big fucking mound of them pop up out of the ground too.
Yeah, they had a big boy there too. Yeah. They had a problem with that one.
If you got a bloater coming this way of all the firepower you got, and this big bullet sponge is coming your way, why do we not have explosives?
Because you're trying to preserve the town a little bit.
Yeah.
That bloater was a good.
Semblance.
Look, that bloater was good 50 feet from the fence. You're sitting there telling me not one stick of dynamite?
If you miss, then what was the point? I don't. I think they were trying to be more.
You can't miss with explosives.
Yeah, I mean,
the vicinity.
See, they have a hive mind, but it's the fact that like it's no longer just a method of communication. It's the fact that they're actually being like strategic and tactical and taking down grizzly bears and all this other like. Right. They're getting more ferocious and more aggressive. They're not just communicating like they were in season 1. They're actually adapting. So whether or not Abby was like the signal for them to go off, or she just happened to be caught off and then waking up, like, ma'am, at least take this info back to your people while you were off dicking around in another town, because her whole crew is technically like the best young Avenger squad her team has as well. So them going missing for like however long this took. Like that, I hope that doesn't just like get breezed over either, because
like where were y'all at? Like what were y'all doing?
Yeah, right. Especially being built like a brick.
I think in the game, Isaac is like he gave them the blessing to do that. Any other time that she left was not sanctioned.
Okay, because I don't know.
Well, I know, yeah, because he did say, yeah. I know in the last episode they had her before the council.
Mm-hmm.
And was saying, hey, and he knew, he was just like, yeah, I already know that was a lie. Like after they left, he was like pretty much just like a slap on the wrist and like, don't do it again. But when they left, he was like, yeah, that was a lie. I already know they were doing something else.
Wait. I'm confused.
Tafara, no, I'm talking about first episode.
The first episode went off the beaten path.
No, wait, Tafara was
I'm talking about Abby.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I was talking about
Abby definitely disobeyed orders.
Yeah, Abby
when she went out to go to Joel, I think that was sanctioned.
Nope. Old boy sat there and said, when he sat there and told Abby, he said, we don't have the resources to go after your little revenge hunt. And that's when old boy that was with her in episode 2 said, look, if you're gonna go, we're gonna go with you. Because she was never given the go ahead to go to Joel.
I don't think in the game she got penalized.
No, in the game
she didn't get.
That's what I'm thinking.
They didn't really get penalized. Yeah, they didn't get really get penalized because those are his star players. He just didn't like that they all put themselves at risk.
Oh,
her little revenge tour. Because
let's be honest. In the game, Buff Abby could do whatever she wanted. She said she wanted to go up to Joel with the guns down. I don't think nobody gonna say nothing.
I was about to say something, but that's spoilers, so never mind.
I'm saying that's pretty much it.
Not really. There is a point. Let's say that.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it though. Abby was such a she was such a buff bruiser for the team. You really couldn't question as long as she got right back to work, which she did.
Right. And like Tafara said, that's your number one hitter. So she wanted to go on a revenge tour. The WLF was like WLF was like, hey,
what you got, man?
Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say on the back of what y'all talking about, Buff Abby. I think the TV show is earning Abby as she is physically, because what is it, like 5-6 of them all together? Why are they listening to this small little frail white girl? Something about her has to be that she is off, or she's actually like that up here.
Because the North remembers.
The North remembers. Because in the game, some of what gets people hurt is the fact that she can wrestle guns away from grown ass men. That's a factor that actually takes place in like certain parts of the game, is that she overpowers certain people.
She survives long when she's almost being starved. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Like I said, they listen to her because the North remembers. So it is what it is. The moment that everyone has been waiting for.
Hurley.
We are talking about sinners.
Okay.
Yeah, you said
that is why I want
you
that.
Have a problem, bro.
I want that, man.
Wouldn't it be something if she said, "There's no more liquor in here. I'm just showing it off."
It's her going to grab her cup again. That's crazy.
So, this amazing team of Ryan Coogler, Ludwig Göransson, Ruth Carter, Autumn. I want to say I'll get her name.
With a K. Kurt. Oh shit.
Eric Kabar or something like that. Because it's her married last name too. And the entire cast who did an amazing job behind the cameras, in front of the cameras. I didn't check the numbers for today, but I'm sure they're
1 second.
But it did open up at 61 million. Not 60. It was actually 61. They downplayed it, tried to say it was 45 million. I'm like, y'all not even ready yet. Y'all didn't get all the numbers in just yet. Turns out it was 61 million. Gave us a different type of horror genre that we're looking at now. Gave us another symbolic, very, very symbolic film in Sinners. We're gonna break it down. If you did not see this film, I have one thing to say to you.
Don't you put that on us!
Putting it all out. That was your story. Yeah, please come on. We're not spoiling every detail. Don't get it wrong. We will be diving into
Oh, 71?
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Further, faster. Let's go.
71. There it is.
71 million.
Hey, look, the numbers are getting counted very slowly.
So yeah, 55 million domestically, 71 million worldwide.
Yep. So
it was more than 71. It was at 100 and something worldwide already.
Yeah, it was like a 141 worldwide. What was that? Saturday? I think it was Saturday. It was like
it was 100 and something worldwide.
My bad.
On the weekend.
170 million now worldwide. My bad.
Is it open world? Is it open worldwide already? I thought it was just in the US for now.
A few.
There's a few countries that have it.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Korea.
Tough to defend.
Shout out to the Blerd Explorer for letting us know that he won't see it until later. And I'm like, what?
I guess it's a summertime flick for y'all.
Korea.
Right.
Yeah, they said Korea won't see it till June. I'm like, to every anime fan in the US right now pointing at Korea, now you know how it feels.
Right.
Yeah, which also reminds people it's not everywhere yet. So it'll be doing just fine if y'all can stop making me scroll for it when I go to look for tickets.
Shout out to Room for Applause for that one.
Hey, yo, AMC, I need to talk to you real quick.
Cinemark,
what happened?
Nah, Cinemark is on that too. It's like if you go look up a movie ticket at any theater, it's like Sinners is at like the back of the catalog. So
I did not see that shit. That's
AMC, Cinemark, Fandango.
They're trying to play games.
Wrong.
I don't see it.
Damn well, I can't.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it. There it is. Right there. Why?
What's at the top? Like what movies are at the
Nothing
top?
that came out this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing that came out this week. Let me see if I can. King of Kings. That's over.
Didn't
Minecraft?
Minecraft. Yeah.
Stop it. Ain't nobody.
They still
Rami,
got the
I love
fucking
you, baby. Florence, I love you too. Ain't nobody going to see that.
Dang.
Well, those are decent movies. It's just they all.
I didn't say it wasn't that. It was bad.
But it's how they're designing it to where you have to search for it. That just tells
They're making it seem like it's not in the theaters. No, yes it is.
And
those
movies came out. Those movies all came out before Sinners, which is why it's weird that like they're at the top. Like
it's not weird. It's not weird.
It's by design.
You know exactly what that is.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's on purpose.
Y'all being real weird with your money. Y'all don't want to make money. What's going on? I thought that was the thing.
They want to stick by the fact that an original black horror noir can't make money. They want so bad to make that a fact, and they are being proven wrong by the freaking day.
So
it's already made money. Let's break it down. Don't even make
sense. And now that the Academy has to watch all the movies, if it just
well, that's another story. That's a whole nother story. Let's break this movie down.
This shit
Let's start off right here.
Let me tell you, I don't know if y'all heard my voice note, but I gotta give it to Michael. This the one time I'm gonna give it to this man.
Wait, me too.
He played the fuck out of these twins And I gotta say, it's the first time I was like, you know what, you look the fuck good, Michael. I said, okay, you know,
speak on it.
He did his thing. Okay,
I will
they
say
did wonderful.
There's a scene where the brothers are sitting outside by the car.
Oh yeah.
And Stack is rolling up the cigarette.
That was
and
it.
Smoke is taking it, and I'm watching the Smoke. And normally, when you see these types of movies where an actor plays a dual role, you can see it. You couldn't see it. You couldn't see it.
You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell the pass off. You couldn't tell from the shadows. You couldn't tell from the smoke.
No.
It was all put together.
That was in the very beginning. When I saw that, I immediately said, "Oh, this is a bad movie." I said, "No." Imagine passing it to yourself. You passing your own self a sick.
And then not miss a beat. And like you said, Shoko, the way they played off each other, you could tell, like, oh, these are two different people.
Yeah, he did great.
You did that.
Maybe I should save that to the end. I'll save it to the end.
I feel like half spoiler free, not.
Oh, what? What?
Try it again, Tafari.
Are we doing like half spoiler free, half not?
Yeah, that's I was about to say.
Yeah, we're not doing the full dump.
Bullshit.
Crazy.
Bullshit. You should put in on this. You should put in on this.
I cannot be held liable for what I say. That's all.
That part, like that's why I said it's not going to be a full on dump, but things will be said. Things.
Okay, so if you have on the headphones, just mute yourself when these two start talking. Like I don't know. It's
cool because there's two scenes that
you can mute me.
Okay, so if just mute button if you hear it from the top row in the balcony here, just go ahead and just volume down.
Hey,
you
had a weekend.
You had a whole week. You had a week and a weekend.
And you knew that it was 100% by Rotten Tomatoes for like 2 weeks.
Look, I even went to go see it, and I actually did not have plans to see it. I didn't, and I took my ass to the theater.
And that is
she's certified hater. She's certified hater over there, ladies and gentlemen.
This is true. Show y'all, this is guaranteed. Show y'all don't like shit, y'all. So she's coming out saying.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So if even Show y'all saying she can't hold water, that tells you something.
So. Let's talk about some of these things now. Besides Michael B. Jordan, I almost said Michael B. Jordan. Besides their acting, someone who I'm amazed has not gotten their flowers. Del Worland.
Right. He's got his flowers everywhere.
He was
everywhere.
Yeah, he was. I love
this man acts. He's been in things,
multiple movies.
Mr.
Stop eating my sesame cake. I'm just saying, if you've seen Kako, you know.
Although the greatest role he ever did was on a news channel.
No, Mr. So say it.
Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
I did.
Say it. Go ahead and say it.
No,
I'm like that seemed like that seemed a bit real. That seemed a bit real.
If pull up was a person.
Nah, Mal, you got to flip that. Smoke was the chill one.
Smoke was the level-headed
Smoke was the cognac on rock.
Yeah.
And
Smoke was the level-headed one.
Sit down for a spell with.
Smoke was very much Smoke was very much an example of back then. Even gangsters had decorum. Like,
yeah.
Wait, yes, Will.
Smoke was the level-headed one.
Yeah.
Smoke was the one that was with me.
If you look at how they were acting toward with each other.
Yeah. Pause.
Smoke was the level-headed one.
Chaos. I know you
like that whole thing with the
you seen Stack act. You trying to say that Smoke wasn't the level-headed one? He took them in the room. He's the one that took them in the room.
Number one. Number two, he was about his business. He meant
exactly.
The reason why you think he's not is because he meant what the fuck he said. Don't touch my shit. Let honk on the horn. And let me know. And they kept doing what they was doing. Oh, you mean it? Bet. Got you. Done.
And not only that, he actually helped to heal them because he gave those people some money. Stack would have never.
Stack would
have left them and been like, "Get your shit in."
He would have hit him in the dome. What you mean? A wound in the ass and the knee? You got a limp when you get back. He was giving them a fair shot. Shit.
We're not saying they both ruthless. Not ruthless. It's just Smoke was a little more reserved with his ruthlessness. He was just like, I said what I like, Lady Man.
But Smoke also had his things, and you could see it. He had his triggers and everything, and it was shown all through the movie. But he definitely
kept more control for it.
He had discipline in ways that obviously Stack did not. But he also had his triggers where it could, which is the reason, like the scene we just talked about. Stack has smoked the thing because he couldn't wrap it.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that in the end.
Like Smoke was Stack was the one that always rolled the cigarette. Smoke couldn't do it.
What do you got? What do you got?
You know what it is, guys? Baltimore is no longer on the deadliest cities list.
Oh my God, you're so ridiculous.
I've been exonerated of this violence of which you speak.
You're so ridiculous. You only been out here for 2 seconds. Now you want to switch up. That's crazy.
Sure, no problem.
I hope your taxes go up. It's lovely.
Oh, who killed the snake? Smoke is the one.
It was Smoke.
Stacks.
I still appreciate what a tag team effort that was.
Yeah,
it was very obvious.
Yeah,
because he sat up there, he unsheathed it, and he just said, "Who?"
That entire sequence, when you think about it, who unsheathed it, who passed the torch, and then who used the torch, was the whole thing.
Now we're gonna get into this one. Jack O'Connell playing Remick.
Hey, I don't know who that man is, but he definitely did his part. Okay,
he did.
He was singing.
I'll be dead. Yes, he was. Number one, he was singing. Number two, that was him doing the Irish river dance. That was him doing that because he's done that before. He's done an interview where he said that he's done that. He did it 20 years ago. He learned how to do that.
That high leg kick he did at the camera.
Yeah. But his introduction into the scene where he goes to the Klan member's house and the Native American vampire hunters come there. The physical embodiment of
I told you once.
Right. They said, let me get out of here, bro. No, because literally right after that, and I know a lot of people mentioned some things about that scene, and I was like, that's so interesting. But yeah, I mean, they had every right to go to fuck home.
Yeah, it was just like they sat up there, they said what they had to say. Old boy peeked in there, seen that hood and that gown. He was like, and his boy said, "Hey, the sun is setting. We got to go."
Exactly. He said, "We gotta go." Old boy didn't say, "Hey, but we need to save them." He said, "Hey, y'all have a good night."
And God bless you. And we out.
He got on the horse, twist around, and then left.
No,
that's what I was trying to remember. The skedaddler. That man that does those videos. There's a Jamaican man that does videos about Irish dancing, and he'd be like, "They skedaddling." He's like, "These are the amazing skedaddlers."
I know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
No,
I do not.
That's why I'm laughing so hard because he does say whimsical skedaddler, and I lost it.
No, because all the posts about the movie, they were like, all I could think is seeing the Jason, whatever his name is, Jack, when he was doing his thing, all I could think was the Jamaican man in Skedaddler, and I was like, that was me in the theater.
The accent didn't help it either at all. He says, "Oh, look at him, the whimsical Skedaddler." I'm like, "Oh God."
No, because his commentary is too much. He was like, "Oh, this skedaddling."
Okay.
That guy.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh
wait. That's him. That's the one. Oh my God. So, but no, it's I'm not gonna lie. Remick was spitting a good game. because first off, when the juke joint opens and they come up there, he's already turned the 2 Clans people. They come up there and they're playing their banjos, and I'm like, I'm already seeing the messages. And then they see Mary, and they're just like, well, she's in there, and they're like, she family, and I was like,
and
family.
Mm-hmm. There's always one.
So, but when it all blows over, when it all starts going down, he's talking a good game, and he's not lying about the Irish heritage and the Black heritage. He's not lying. Like they were the same routes. But he was just, but at the same time, I'm like, but dude, you doing some stuff that
hey, I can't tear up no more. Please stop, bro.
Oh my god!
I'd like the crowd to know that Shoyo admitted to crying. Who are you?
I'm crying because it's that funny. Like my eyes are like probably red, bro.
When you
like,
hear it, it's hilarious.
Oh,
but yeah, I keep forgetting because at first I thought he was basically just saying like, "Hey, you can either go with us or you can go with them. Either way, your life will be hell." I keep forgetting the Irish have their own whole history that somewhat kind of. I didn't get an info dump until the Queen kicked the bucket, so I was.
Amen.
I want to touch on something else in this film that has it. I'm surprised. I'm just now starting here. Wunmi Masako.
Amazing.
Her
favorite person. I'm so glad Coogler has shown a dark-skinned black woman, plus-size woman.
My fan fiction dreams come true.
Not fan fiction, Lord. What the
hell? Wait. This is what I love about. So they're this is completely different. This is how you know the brothers are completely different. Stack's relationship with Mary is completely different than Smoke's with Annie. When he comes by there to Annie's and he puts the flowers on the grave and he says Papa's home and everything, he's on there in there talking to Annie. There isn't any hate, like there isn't any respite. You could tell that whatever happened to their child is what separated them, plus going to Chicago. But he didn't hesitate for a second in telling her that he loved her. And she didn't hesitate neither. And when she hit you with that line and that tongue, your body didn't forget me.
He did hesitate because he looked at her and said, "You really gonna make me say it? Do I really gotta say it?" And she looked at him. And he said, "I love you." And
that's a bar though. Did your body forget me? God dang.
She wasn't finna play with the act. She was like, yeah, this
she
is,
said, use your words, motherfucker.
That's
Communication is key. Words.
She knew it. She knew it, but she needs to hear it.
Which I can respect.
Yeah.
Because
I put all the protections on you. You can be vulnerable in here. My whole thing is just like, is there
you still got that bag on.
My thing is like, was there a door to close? Because them kids was like, what, 3 footsteps outside the house?
Them little nigglets went the fuck on. You better go your ass.
They bought their product and they left. They had.
I'm just saying, but like, I'm just saying they went down the street where you could probably still see down the road and in the door. Like, what they doing back there?
Did you forget this? Your mama sent you in here for 1, 2, 3 things. What you looking back for? You got them. Bye, deuces.
You are ruining the moment.
No, I love that they showed that scene with them two. That showed like, yeah, it was the death of their child. That's what I took away from it. It was the death of their child that broke them down.
Oh yeah.
You know, because he when they got down, he came straight. He got the business stuff out of the way, but he was like, I got another stop I got to make. It ain't because she can fry fish. It's just I know she can fry fish. I know she can do some other stuff. I know where I need to go.
I just need her to skin a snake real quick.
What do you have, Will? What do you have? What do you have?
Please go, please.
I don't know why we all just let this happen. Where Fury was like,
what happened?
I want to put my finger on something else, and then put a picture of Hunter B-15 up there.
Yeah, I did find the button.
Right.
But
you know what?
go
ahead, Rose.
That bar Annie drop, your body ain't forget me. Listen, folded like the butter in a croissant.
I'm telling you, boy.
Look, I went to the 10 a.m. screening of the movie, and that scene had me looking over like as if somebody was sitting next to me, because I was like,
Did she
say that?
there was probably 3 people in my theater, okay, but they was nowhere near me, and that scene had me. I was like, okay. Well,
I looked at my wife. I looked at my wife and did like this. That words do it every time.
So apparently in this movie theater, all the ladies leaned forward when they heard that.
The ladies leaned forward and the men leaned forward. They had a reason.
But because she basically pulled his card, because for like 30 minutes we watched him basically play like the gangster with decorum from old school days, and then she came here and just tore all of that down in the span of like 10 seconds.
She's like, I know who you are. He never lost that with her.
Nobody's calling.
She gave him the hoodoo bag for protection, and like
you might be big dog out there in them streets, but when you come home,
that part,
know who you serve.
Know
who you serve.
I'm blanking on the.
No, like honestly, I feel like you've had to at least see the still picture of this by now, Spartan. But if you haven't, just know that the face that man made in that, like before anything happens, but the face that he makes when she kind of says that is like okay, this is not porn at all. But like he made a face that was just like, I don't think I thought I was gonna see Michael B. Jordan make that face with his mouth agape. I didn't think that I was gonna see it. Like
so good to know. Good to know.
Okay, yeah. So basically, out in the streets, you're smoke. In this house, your name is Elijah. Knock it off.
100%.
Correct.
Know what your mama named you.
Yeah, she
like,
did,
even
and I loved that for them.
Cause we don't do nicknames.
I'm like, that's black love. That's black love.
But yeah, to that end of what Shoyo just said,
really whoopty.
We don't do nicknames. What did she say? She said, "Don't get that smoke over here."
A little smut ain't hurt nobody.
Elijah.
But yeah, that
when she said his name, we
attend the same church. I can co-sign.
But that's kind of what I liked about their whole thing. Is like, it wasn't just, all right, let's find a reason to get her naked on camera. They at least did like a tasteful version of their whole.
I can appreciate that so much.
This was a very tasteful, nasty ass movie.
It twerked.
It really was. It really was.
Also about table being bent over, but
fully clothed poism.
That's what I'm saying. Fully clothed. We got work to do, but like I still miss, and like very representative of them old school relationships. It's like,
100%.
We didn't break up. You were gone for 7 years, and I was hoping you'd come back. Some people did. Some people didn't. So I'm not sure.
No, because
sometimes
it was
granddad,
tasteful, easy. It was. I was like, I would take my mama to see this movie and nothing.
You don't get that weird.
No.
Speaking of which, wait, hold on.
Tafari, tasteful.
Yeah, because Tafari went to see the movie with his mother.
And
were you feeling weird at that scene?
No, my dad sat between both of us, so
that's crazy.
He has a bubble. That was it. I go look. I can imagine. I know if I'm watching a scene with my parents, it's still awkward as hell to me.
It ain't awkward for me.
It's definitely not an awkward moment. It's not because it's penny to the side.
Oh my!
It wasn't an awkward moment. It was but it was a beautiful. It was, what do you want to say? It was raw and raunchy in the most tasteful way.
It was very simple. Like there was nothing crazy that happened. Like my thing was, people were saying, "Oh, we got to see such and such get her black blown out." Me sitting here like, do y'all know what getting your black back blown out looks like? Because that's not what we saw. Okay, it was nice. It did what it needed to do. but like
I knew that part.
it was not anything crazy. Like it was simple. It was done. It did what it needed to do. It showed what it needed to show. It evoked.
What's the rating, Shoyo? What's the rating?
The rating?
Yeah.
I mean, if
on
you
a 1 to 10 of backs blown out, what's the?
Oh, it's given very much like 5. You know, it doesn't mean it wasn't good. I'm sure.
Here's
I can give a 3. I can agree
Here's
with a 3. I tried to be nice.
No,
Okay?
that's a 3.
But I can give you a 3. There we go. I agree.
If there was like a shoulder, a hand on a shoulder, that's a 5. That's a 5.
It was very simple. It was simple. Okay. It was loving as well as lusty. Christy is perfect.
Here's the better question. Do you prefer that or the bloodbath bang out from Lovecraft? Which one would you rather see?
Let me tell you, because
remember that's the last time we saw her do anything like that. Also, you're an unofficial screen queen. We love you.
That's true. Yes.
You know,
what makes me think that. I think it's also her being here and being the juju person also makes me think Smoke is definitely supposed to be Majors before what happened.
No,
not at all.
He said
it
that
was not.
he only ever had Michael in mind for this part. He said he only ever had
nowhere near this.
I feel like that's the plan. I feel like that's the plan now.
Nah,
that all's forgiven.
He would have said that. He's not afraid to tell the truth.
I know he's not.
He's speaking true.
No, I know he's not, but I'm saying like they don't even know everything.
The fact that they were twins really did something for the movie. I really don't think that was and actually I know because he did say it. He said, "Nah, this was always supposed to be one. It was supposed to be twins." So the fact that it was Michael, I mean, because people throwing Majors all through this movie, and I think it's unfair to Michael. As much as a person, for me, I don't really. I mean, I know Michael can act. I can't take that from him, but I've never been like, oh, I'm a Michael B. Jordan fan. He can act. But this movie definitely was giving like, hey, I really enjoyed his role. He did a great job. And so for people to be throwing, I'd be like, I'm just sitting here like, just let Michael, like, it was just Michael.
No one's just taking anything away from Michael. It's just once we heard the movie was coming and saw that relationship building, and then that happened, the timing, fellow co-stars in it, and like similar stuff. At any point, if there was a role for him, and it's like, yeah, he's been in these shoes before, it would have fit him perfectly. No one's saying he would overshadow Michael.
I don't think so, because if let's say that this thing never, like that whole incident with him never happened. Marvel would not let him do this fucking movie. They would not, and have him come back as he would never.
Think it would have been too much.
They would never allow him.
Might have been too much.
Okay, moving on.
Think so?
It probably would have been. Moving on.
Because none of the other people that have done movies with Marvel have done anything
like raunchy or right.
All.
But I mean, we got B-15.
Except
B-15.
Haley Steinfeld.
I'm crying.
She's Sony. She's not really.
I'm about to say that's Sony. That's Sony.
And does it count if she's not actually on screen?
That's my cousin.
She's not actually on screen either.
We got B-15 in there though. Well, she's clearly going to be important.
Guys, she's Hawkeye.
Stop it.
Yeah,
she is Hawkeye. She is Hawkeye. She's Kate Bishop.
No, she is Hawkeye.
She's also a napkin.
They will look at her differently when she shows up again as Hawkeye.
In the history of movies, you usually don't get in trouble until after this type of stuff comes out.
I mean, she'll be fine.
Oh yeah,
she would be fine. I'm talking about our previous mentioned person. Like usually don't get hate. The phone doesn't stop ringing until after they see your role, like Brandon T. Jackson after Lottery Ticket.
Lord. So Haley Steinfeld's role in here.
She did her job. She
did her job. And there's a line that she pulls.
There's a couple
that I'm like, oh God.
Can I say it? Or are we not gonna say it?
No, go ahead. Because it was like you talking about
said,
oh my.
You out in Chicago robbing trains, but you can't rob this pussy for a night? Or this is a cookie. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But,
I was like
I said, okay. I mean, that's not my type of time.
Show
but
yo.
But it's a folding line. It's definitely a folding line.
Can you run that line back one more time?
Hey man, like cover her ears.
She said, "Stack."
Baby knocked out.
Right, she sleep.
Okay.
She said, "Stack."
One more time,
She said, so you can rob trains in Chicago all day and night, but you can't rob this pussy for a night because she's married. That's the thing. So she's technically married.
No, not technically.
Yes, she's married. She's married.
Can I be honest?
It's not a loving marriage. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
Mayhem, you are correct. Once again, it's a line that will fold the strongest person.
I think for her situation, it's like I get it. I mean, she's straddling the line already, and then she's married to a white man, not on the hand of her decision. So, and we never get to see that man, which is great. But it's also just like, it's like I give her a pass just because of the times and how she was already passing for a reason.
She was considered a mulatto. She was white passing because I think they said it was her grandfather that was her mother was having.
Right.
Yeah. So she was white passing for that time. That's what that was a lot of talk for her.
And they make her marry a white man.
Yeah. So it was Stack. That was man.
And he folded.
Yeah, he definitely folded.
I'm assuming he did.
Yeah, but see, in their relationship was different because he was like, I cannot be seen. I love you, but I cannot be seen with you because I will be dead.
Yeah, all it takes is one person in town to think you are what you ain't.
Right.
And that's my whole life gone.
Yeah.
And hers too.
But also, I mean, I can acknowledge. I mean, Stack also was scared. Like Stack didn't want no. I mean, he ran off in the same way. I'm not saying he was scared to be with her. I'm saying he was scared of the responsibility. In my opinion, that's what it felt like. He was scared.
It felt like he knew he would. I'm so sorry. It felt like he knew he was a hood nigga and was like,
100%.
"No, you are too delicate for this shit. I don't want you to be in this type of
way."
That's the responsibility.
And that's what he said. That's what he said. He said, that's why I pretty much handed you off to whoever this dude is that she's supposed to be married to. He was like, he could give you the life I can't give you because you come with me. It's over for me. I was like, and not in a good way.
The ending crazier.
Quite.
Yeah.
White.
Because see, then it's accepted. By that time it gets accepted. It's been decades.
No, but not even that. It's just
she dragged him with her.
Yeah.
I mean, they have it's no reason at that point to not be together.
Well, they can kill off anybody who threatens them. That's the way I took it.
Yeah, their whole relationship, the brothers got mirroring relationships. Just one is honest and the other one is playing like they don't like each other. But meanwhile, all the marriages in this movie felt like business transactions, or they got a mister waiting at home for
not
purposes.
Business. Not business transaction.
Come on.
I'm saying outside of the that's what I'm saying. Outside the Asian couple, it's just like they say they got one that's almost like a status or like a husband you don't want to be with. But even Sammy's girl, I'm like, yo,
Pearline.
Because I was about to
talk about this.
I'm like, Pearline kind of young and Sammy kind of young. Pearline
ain't no kind of with Pearline. Ain't no kind of, because that train scene, I was like, yo, wait a minute.
Because Pearline, the way she talked about her husband, I'm like, your husband is like Mr. from Color Purple or something. It's like some old dude you got shipped off with. Because we don't see him the whole movie, but like neither one of those women speak about their husband positively.
Played by Jamie Lawson.
But it's the 30s.
That's also what I'm getting
if we're gonna be honest about what marriages look like in the 30s, and especially since we're talking about the South and Mississippi, and then we see people in sharecropping, because we could talk about Cornbread's ass and his wife, and so you see all the different types of dynamics of marriage. I mean, women couldn't have nothing still at that time.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think it was, who was it, Spartan or Tafari that realized who she was, because I kept trying to figure out who she was.
Yeah, in the group.
He's the mayor from Gotham. And the Penguin and the Batman.
Hey, imagine.
Oh,
And Kira, I'm not gonna hold you, Lady Mandalore.
Safe way.
I'm not gonna hold you, Lady Mandalore.
What I do?
I think she might be a contender for the
Don't you
goddess.
don't relax.
No,
Relax.
I'm serious. She got a look. She's got an aesthetic.
No, relax. She's pretty.
She's new and up and coming.
No.
She's got the look. She's got an aesthetic.
No.
I'm not gonna knock it.
Storm needs to be a woman of a certain age.
If they're going young,
cute for like young Storm. Don't do this. Don't do this.
They're not gonna go with a matured.
Right.
No, when I say lady of a certain age, I mean like 30.
Hey, she's not gonna be Storm.
Well, she's 27, so I mean,
damn.
Let's get to Sammy and Pearline, because this was a pivotal moment in when you go from boy to man. Like that was an exceptional
gentleman.
That made me laugh. I'm sorry. That scene made me laugh because he said, "Let me try something real quick." And Stack was out. Yeah, let me taste. And Stack was outside that door.
Like a proud
and he heard it. And he heard it, and I laughed. He's like, my boy found that button.
It's the specific fact that she tried to be a lady with her foolishness. Was like, hey, listen, I've been out here all day. I walked over here. Let me go freshen up. He's just like, nah.
Where? That's crazy work.
Let me do what I do.
He folded.
No, because it was the whole subtle, like that whole scene was. I was like, yeah, okay.
I love that entire
man likes
thing.
tang, is what I'm saying. He likes tang. It's all right. Like little seasoning.
It was the slow fall back. I was like, look, you know, they did the whole thing.
Again, though, tastefully, it's not just a reason to strip people naked on camera.
I mean, but it makes sense for the piece. I mean, they wasn't getting naked. I don't think they really.
I'm saying,
like,
though, but like,
pull up the dress. That's it.
No, I know what I'm saying. I mean, we don't know how much further it went once the camera cut back.
Hey, Kiri, put the photo back up real quick of her.
Oh no!
Explain something.
Everybody in the corner.
I'm looking
everybody
at the damn thing. I'm looking
Spartan,
at it, bro.
That center photo. That's the after. That's how he had.
Yes. That is the part where all the ladies are with. She was on stage performing and drinking and cutting up.
Y'all are way too excited.
It was. I saw a video today, and this girl on TikTok said, if there's one thing that y'all should have learned from this fucking movie, she said it's to eat that cat. And I ain't saying nothing else. I said, let me turn this off.
Because you see how she was cutting up after, because we didn't see how far it went. We just see them coming out the room later, and suddenly everybody's all performance ready and loose as a goose and cutting up a rug. And then I liked how it built up, because that is like that's somewhat is what it's like growing up with like older male cousins and uncles. They be talking to you about nonsense. You're like,
they were having a good time, man. I'm not gonna lie, they were having a blast.
I don't know if he meant the end credit scene or like their conversation in the car. I know he said one of those was improv, but like.
That car scene was 1,000% improv.
And he did amazing. You talk about Delroy.
That whole scene was improv.
You're talking about
licking the ice cream. Licking the ice cream. I promise you.
Well, because there's a scene that Delroy's talking about. He's like, well, the whole thing in the car was kind of improv, and I don't know if he was talking about himself.
When he was telling that story.
I feel like it was him when he was telling that story because
because I was like, he kind of like went. I
was
hear it again.
Perfect.
I missed some of the details because like I'm hearing it
when he's telling a story about his friend that was killed, basically in the car when they're on the way after they picked up.
Oh, you talking about Delroy?
Yes.
Yeah. My bad.
Because
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, because that all happens in the same car. It's him, Slim. And it's Smoke, Slim, and Sammy, and they're all of that happens in one car ride. So I'm like, which part of that was improv? Because if it was that conversation, I'm like, yeah, that's like me in the car with my older cousins and uncles. And yeah, you're just like, all right, get out of my face. I know y'all just trying to be funny. But then when the moment arrives, you start thinking like, was anything they said true? Meanwhile, Sammy, and then Sammy having that happen, the fact that Smoke is on the other side of the door, the fact that somebody else has to take over the door watch, and he's like, check out my little cousin. Like he's having his proud father moment. And then Delroy, when he's like, hey, go get Smoke. He's like, and then he's like, yeah, he's in the room. Oh, he kind of busy, huh? Like, it's all those little nuances happening back to back. I'm like, this is like a whole family reunion type of party. The one invited white friend, like everything about that was just giving family vibes and just comfortable until shit gets crazy soon after.
Right. So you want to talk about a breakout star, Miles Keaton?
He can sing. He got
first acting role. And he's actually been on tour with her since he was 16. And she told him, go try out for this role. He did not know how to play guitar. He just was a singer. And he got that role and was practicing 5 hours a day on this guitar.
Well, shit. Who better to learn how to play the goddamn guitar than from her?
Thank you. And let me tell you, that scene, and if you know the scene I'm talking about.
Man, all the scenes that he was doing, playing and singing.
Let this show.
Leave some meat on the bone for Spartan.
Yeah.
So he's playing this song.
Touching my pearls the entire time. Go for it.
Look,
there's a scene. This scene he's playing in. That scene I just started. That was his big moment, right? And he's playing the song, and then all of a sudden you see the ancestors. You see hip hop dancers, you see crunk, you see twerking, you see Asian influence dancers, you start seeing Irish. It start all these cultures mixing, and you see DJs, and I'm like, next thing you know, the roof is on fire. The next thing you know, the barn is gone, and they are all out there dancing. And I'm like, this is so visual. I'm sitting in the theater, and I'm just like, Coogler, you did it again. You did it again.
I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know if this is a part of my brain that just reacts this way. I literally felt the heat on my face from that scene. And I thought I was having a moment like, what is this? Is this menopause? What's going on? Why is my face hot?
Were you in a 4D experience?
That's what I'm saying. I was literally, I'm sitting there, I'm crying because of the shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then the barn is burning down. I'm like, why do I feel like it felt like that rolling fire type of situation, but it was just my face. Like everything else was fine. It was just my face.
That was a powerful scene stating how that music is so influential from so many cultures and to so many cultures.
Hi, Whale Watcher.
Stopping. Relax.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
What? Y'all, as much as y'all talk about us being chaotic on this like middle to bottom row, y'all have been having a time up here just in
it's not very often we get y'all on the platter.
Ain't nothing wrong with what he said.
Wow.
Nothing at all. I'm very grateful.
Are you saying
I want to ask
too, right? Like it's not just me.
Yeah.
Y'all are fine.
So I want to ask our cinephile of the crew, because I know there were some definite scenes that popped in. What's happening, Nate?
What it is, how it do?
Mayhem. That scene. Talk to him.
That's the scene where essentially it was like I was almost like, I don't care what happens after this. This movie's getting 5. Because I legitimately, y'all seen the meme we're talking about, like when you lose in that Madden and then the person does this. They sit up close. That was me. I legitimately, as it was unfolding, I sat forward in my seat and was just locked in. I was like, yo, Coogler is a madman. Like, what? How do you, what makes this come to your brain? And then on top of the audacity to show off all of these different eras and different versions of Black excellence on screen this way, but also it's a one shot.
Yes.
Seamlessly goes from person to person, reveal to reveal, up until the fire and back down to everyone in the ashes, and I was like, I nigga, like, I was like, I don't know if I'm capable of creating something that's like this scene is worth the price of admission. Like that's the scene there where I came back to the chat and I was like, yo, this movie is going to be the reason that we have future Black filmmakers. This scene alone, someone's going to be standing on a stage one day accepting an award and have to be like, yo, shout out to Ryan Coogler, because I was years old when I seen Sinners, and it changed the trajectory of my life. Like that scene right there, I don't know if I can be hyperbolic enough about it.
Someone is watching that scene and having their J. Cole at a Kanye concert moment.
That scene felt like church. That scene really felt
good.
Like
good church.
Yes.
Good church. Like you walked out of it like, I got the word. I feel good.
Good
like,
church is a very good asterisk
of community and coming together. Not like I'm running off the shit. I'm not a church person. But just in the sense of I'm not a church person. What can I say? I would go to that. I frequent that church on a regular basis. I love the cinema. To have that experience, that almost it's not out of body, but you know what I mean. Out of body experience in a room full of people that I can connect with, not the white people. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I want to give not just Miles the credit for that scene, because good Lord, I want to give the credit to the cinematographer, Autumn Durrell Arkapaw. First female to shoot in feature film on IMAX 70mm. So already breaking ground. I want to give another shout out to Ludwig Göransson, who has teamed up with Coogler on several occasions, and the scores that this white boy puts out.
I mean, we ain't inviting nobody to the cookout, but we gonna feel bad about not letting you in.
Well, we will stand at the gate. We will have someone bring you out a plate. That's the best.
No, did you learn nothing from the movie?
I said outside.
You won't tell me he don't get an invite after.
Did you see what? Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened?
I'm saying the same.
Put his hand outside.
I'm saying the same thing I said during that scene. You need to put him on the ground and slide it past the barrier. He can't come in, but he can accept it from the other side.
Yeah.
No, give it up. What is those grabber thingies here, baby?
Thank you, Lizzie.
It's one of them things where you just like you give him several to go plates. Like no, you did all right. You did.
He can't come in and get them, but just will deliver them to the door. You can
you gonna get the good pieces. Don't worry.
Also,
you gonna get some extra mac and cheese. You getting that? That's good.
I'll leave something for you in the work fridge with your name on it. You'll be all right.
Also, Hilton with the. So you tell me none of them people at a fish fry took it to go play home after they all get kicked out?
So the only grace I give them for that is the fact that, I mean, we all know what happened during that time. And it's also the fact that Delroy did not tell them what they actually told them to do in the room. Delroy told them to go ahead and get on. Mm-hmm. But that's not what they told him to tell them when they were in the room.
That is
so when they left and everything, you know, that's also made me think about, dang, they all left when maybe they could have all stayed. But Delroy told them to, you know, to go on now, just get on. So it was like, ain't no time to get no plate. You finna get kicked out.
Look, that's the part where the old drunk kicks in. All right, he already wasn't supposed to be watching the damn dough. Like
he's like, what kind of dough watching are you doing? He was not happy. We got to talk about watching the door because Omar, come on, man.
He did a great job.
He did a fantastic job.
I loved him as Cornbread.
This motherfucking kindness speech he gave, I was like, he is pulling shit out of thin air.
We all supposed to just be getting along.
No,
once he was out there, we doing what we got to do. I'm like, Negro, the party is over.
No, because he paused. It was the pause. He was like, well, we all's friends.
Yeah,
like
it was giving Candace Owens a little bit.
That's why Annie was like, "You been in and out this door all day. Why we got you can push your big behind me and pass both of us? What's the problem?"
my whole thing was just like, so y'all, so we just gonna put the money in his hand. We can't just like.
Once again, Annie proven. Be careful. She said it. Be careful. And what happened?
Shout out to Annie for being like, no, don't talk to him.
What happened? Huh?
Don't talk to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, talk to me.
That's also why I appreciate like her being there, because like they had a whole like
that part. I was like, you could have just went to the side or to the back. You didn't have to go all the way in the woods.
Better question: why did we have to see it from that angle for so long? Because after a while, after a while,
sound had me crying.
After
it was the pause and then the keep going.
No, the sound
pause and the keep going.
The sound was funny.
Yeah, it did. It was because it's like.
I was sitting there like, you've been at this door the whole time. What? How you been drinking this much?
Right. The sound was funny. It was just like, it was like awkward laughter. It was like awkward. It was funny laughter, and then it was just like, all right, man, like put it away. Like, can y'all switch this shot up, please? And then you kind of, I can't tell if it's the lighting or if you actually can see them in the bushes behind them, because you hear them come, but you never see like
they were like two.
You can see like a few,
Mm-hmm. They cut it so quick I couldn't tell.
Yeah. No, they were waiting.
Oh no, I you could hear them wrestling around. But what was throwing me was
I never want to be attacked with my man's out. That's terrible.
That's another thing. Especially if I
he got to put it back in. What you mean?
No, apparently not.
Listen, I'm gonna speak for all the gentlemen on the panel real quick.
I agree with you.
If you scared and trying to put your drain away, that you might slip, and get killed. That's a terrible way to go.
Yeah, you're not trying to die.
Frank and the Bean.
You're not trying to die with a half leaking bladder. Like
look at Spurry.
Hey man, y'all, you don't know. You don't even feel death at that point because you came back to life.
Okay, but in my cold body, the only thing that's warming me now is my own fluid you didn't let me finish with. So that's not fun.
Now you ain't even got to worry about peeing. You hive mine now. It don't even matter.
I mean, that's a good question though. That's a good question. If you die mid pee, does it finish or does it just evaporate? Like,
oh my god!
Now you have like she said it like you gang now.
Literally, they was all gang.
But like, I also did like that people like him did at least do like their own backstory for this movie, because he's like, I found out, some of my family
he knew his actual background,
100%.
Like his father and his grandfather were sharecroppers, so he was just that one step away from knowing what that was about, which was exactly a cool thing.
And he said that's why he wanted the hat, because that's like old photos of them. That's how they used to dress, with the overalls, the sharecropper hat. So
yeah, he'll never get that lip service like he was looking for. That's what brought him onto the job in the first place.
Uh-oh.
He was like, yeah, if your wife knew how much money you was gonna come home with.
Oh right.
Nah, that shit was funny when he said you got a good woman. I said, because she said, nigga, just go. She said he talk about dollars. We not talking about pennies. She said, get out of here. Like,
how much money we talking?
Right.
And even then, that was the most healthiest marriage I saw out the entire damn thing, outside of the Asian couple, because at least he was willing to fight for his wife.
The Asian couple, man.
He was at least willing to fight for his wife, and his wife was like, well, hold on, money's on the line. Take the job. You can maybe whoop his ass later if you want to.
Let's talk about the Asian couple. So it was crazy because they had two stores.
Mm-hmm.
One for the black community and one for the white community.
Mm-hmm.
Right across from each other.
Mm-hmm.
They do everything else. And while they were in the black community, it wasn't until, what's her name? Grace? What was her name?
Grace.
No, yeah, it was Grace. It was Grace.
Grace.
When her husband doesn't come back, I'm like, oh, baby. No.
We been knew once he came out.
Grace caused nationwide teeth sucking in unison.
It was, I'm like, Grace, no. He gone. And it wasn't, and all she could think about was her daughter. Everything else took a back seat.
But okay, so I do like that perspective. And then also, I know we kind of talked about the other perspective. You know, we seen the Asian TikToker who, talked about that. But I also was recognizing the other perspective to that was it's not even just about her kid, but also like when he spoke in her language, self-preservation for sure, but also to think about, which is why I said when Delroy told them to all leave, right? You have all those many people that are now and it's like to think that all of those people could absolutely go back to their loved ones instead of staying in hey Navy, instead of staying in this central area to focus on them. If any of them had left, the town would have been fucked. Because they would not know that any of them were there. So it wouldn't have even just been about her daughter. It really would have been all of those people had people to go home to. If any of them left, it would have been over for the town, which I think is an interesting perspective too.
And Christy is now security at the cookout. We just go leave it at that.
But no,
you definitely can't come to the cookout for sure.
But that's a good part from the music scene to there. Yes, that was church, but church has visitors for a reason. Like you don't bring because at the door they were never there. They were never part of the community because you got what is basically our argument with what religion was being taught with us, even though we're not free from the people that taught it from us technically, even though we're on opposite sides of the street. But then you got the music scene, which is actual church, to where even if the music, which is spiritual, does attract the wrong type of spiritual attention, we got a person for that. We got a whole girl who knows how to handle haints. Oh no, this ain't a haint, it's a vampire. I know what to do. Start cutting this, drink this, eat that. Like we had people for each of these things, regardless of where
What's going on, Candy?
Also,
yep. I started laughing when I saw that.
Yeah, something had to move the movie along, but like at least it wasn't one of us.
It did.
It was then. Was it eating the eating garlic scene was actually.
Oh my goodness!
I was like,
no, because you talking about Miss Perline.
Like, Perline and Delta Slim were they were the worst ones because Perline was like, I don't like the way it tastes. And then
talk about girl, he about to shoot you if you don't know anything.
You saw how fast he unloaded on the first one and still had bullets to spare. So
he was ready to shoot his own family. Girl, you don't eat that fucking thing. Stop playing.
When she finally got it down and it came down to Slim, who been drinking all day.
He started Harlem shaking like
Like, what is happening? It's just
he was just like. They were so ready. It was like, I'm like, come on, not Slim. I'm like, when did they get Slim?
Also, let that music show you, let that whole music sequence show you our distaste for bad music comes from a spiritual place. So you upset us and the ancestors with your shit's music. Just
Lord. It says Slim.
But you know what? To also when I think about the Graces part, like what people were talking about, like for people that love vampire lore and watch vampire stuff like that, like a good point that some people made, which I didn't think about in the moment, but it also for the purpose of this conversation, like Tafari said, obviously we needed to get the movie along. We have so many different perspectives, but it also was just the fact that we know that Mary was already let in. The idea that they technically didn't need another invitation because Mary was already let in.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because it breaks the barrier.
I thought they had to be let in individually.
No,
I don't think that they don't because they're Hive.
Perfect example. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Once Angel was let in, Spike and Darla and could all come in freely because it broke the barrier.
Right. So I think
there is a distinction in this when
they throw homeboy outside.
No, he ran outside.
They dragged him out.
No, not
the Asian chick's name. I forgot her name. I'm so sorry.
Grace.
Grace. She invited all of them. She gave carte blanche to everybody. She said, "Come in, motherfuckers."
I get that. But what I'm saying is,
she said once Stack and Haley were already inside, they should have been able to come back at any time.
That's what technically based upon how vampires work.
I think,
what I'm saying is just to add to a different perspective, the idea of I really do think because Remick he wanted Sammy, but it was also like he really wanted them willingly. He wanted to get them to give up, to give in. And it really was giving like this alternate perspective could very well be they were playing with them.
Oh, so join the cult or basically die.
That's what I was kind of getting, but I think they kind of established the rules with Homegirl when they threw the wrong person outside. Because when Stack
the same Negro they beat up for having loaded dice, then seen him drunk, thought he was dead.
Hey man,
it turns out he wasn't dead.
Because remember when Stack was dead, she was like, "We need to get the body outside before it comes back," and she said that before. Right. So now when they saw, I think that was them kind of playing with the rules. You mentioned Shoyo, so I think
that is also correct.
All those rules don't get applied until you turn. I think that's where you get around all that. You can come in and out as a human as much as you want to, but once your soul has been altered, the rules change.
Yeah, so but Mary had already she was let
dead.
in.
She had died out there. That's not really Mary.
I know, but that's the point. She was let in.
Mary was let in.
That's the point. She was let in.
I think Mary had to wait on head vampire to basically because we know he
Cornbread invited her in.
Yeah, Cornbread. He didn't know any better. He was just
he didn't. But it doesn't really matter who invited them. They could have got the random person to invite them in. As long as they let them in, they can come in.
So to your point about them playing with it, I think it was more so now that I'm under the wing of Boss Head Vampire, I'm not finna go make a charge if he don't, and especially since he seemed like he wanted them to submit, like you said. I think it was more so because we realized towards the end, her and Stack were kind of on their own tip anyway. So I think it was more his mission than hers, hence why she didn't lead the charge on it. She just started all the drama and then left.
Candy got a lot of theories that seem to make sense. She said her theory may possibly work had Remick been invited in because he was the leader of the Hive. That would have just negated everything else, and they just
that was also my thing with them running. I'm like, if you're born in the house, does that mean you have to leave and then re-enter? Because the first thing they did was get out of there.
I don't think he wanted to leave, but she threw the stuff on him. And of course,
I forgot.
He probably just was like, I'm finna go get to my people for a sec and get some clarity about everything.
I was like,
after he got thrown it on her.
When he was just hanging at the door, I'm like, you ain't got a little more of that in the jar to just splash in his face? Because,
I will say this: Grace at least had the presence of mind to take her husband out.
On behalf of everyone else, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
I'm crying.
It's like I guess she was like, "Ain't nobody gonna kill him but me," and I'm gonna go with him. Well,
I mean, I'm like, yes, your child's an orphan, but like, you have two sources of income she inherits. She'll be fine.
And not in that time. That shit don't matter.
Running back and forth across the street to work both stoves.
I mean,
right.
Look,
and I think there was significance in the fact that Grace was at the whites only, and her daughter was over there, but not only her daughter, but him. I think that was intentional to have her be the store clerk of the whites only, because when you think about position and looks, because that's the whole point of them even needing to have a posture of a all whites place, like the posturing of the mother being the clerk of that store and it not being her husband. I think that was intentional.
Yeah. So she says, Candy says, now for Mary to talk big trash about being able to beat up any bitch in the juke joint, but then run away from fighting when she had vamp powers, I call cap. Somebody lying about having hands.
I cannot.
I mean, they had guns, so.
What you got, Navy?
I've been trying to get a word in edgewise. Y'all been throwing nouns and pronouns and verbs since I walked up in here.
I'm crying.
Chris said, "Hey," and I went, "Hey," and then all I heard was, "Yeah, Mary." Okay, so y'all, first of all, slow down.
English conversation, Reverend.
You know what? That's fine. I just came from the theater, literally walked into my house.
That's crazy.
On this microphone, because I got a fresh perspective, and let me tell you, everybody was right. I love the symbolism all over the place, especially when he started playing in the middle of the joint, and then you see just ancestors. You see history just form right there on the floor, and that made my heart swell. And that just made me realize that this movie has so much depth to it. It is one of those conversation pieces that is not going to go away anytime soon. You could tell there was a lot of Jack in the Box and a lot of In-N-Out Burger and everything else eaten while they wrote this movie and put this together. Incredible.
That scene. Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen with that scene.
Hey, look, if the
Because
fact
that is a really hard scene to ignore for so many reasons.
Just the symbolism and the history and the storytelling in that one scene. Good grief.
Cinematography.
Thank you. The cinematography, the costumes.
On the technical side alone, even if you don't get the history, the technical side was amazing.
Let's talk about the costumes. Because Auntie was at it again.
Yes, she was.
As per usual.
Yes, she
Ruth
was.
Carter. Thank you once again. Proving Haley Steinfeld said she couldn't wait to get fitted by Ruth Carter. She looked forward to it. Because
it's just the whole intricacies. Every layer had a meaning behind it as the movie kept going. And I'm not going to lie, that last scene, because Lady Mandalore said, you need to stay for the last scene. I felt that as soon as he sat down and started playing. I felt that
it was good.
Before we get to that last scene, chaos ensues, everything goes down. But there's one other piece that a lot of people didn't really touch on.
This is where the anger reviews came from.
Yeah. So the brothers buy the meal. They bought it from a white guy, and they say, if anybody crossed this line, we taking them out. And that's when the white dudes say, ain't no clan no more. Shit. However, they were wrong.
Of course, the clan would say there's no
clan. Because he was
still clan around. He was part of the clan. He was one of the leads.
Right.
And Smoke, who's been left alive, went to the trunk and got out their army gear because the brothers were in the military. They were in World War I.
Listen,
you talking about
the
that feeling? You know that feeling you got in Django when Jamie Foxx was winning that house and went buck wild nuts. Nobody was walking out of there, and we were like, that was me.
The theater erupted, but that was the very black ass moment that I was telling y'all about from my early screening. Was that you realize the entire movie he was prepared to just deal with that. He was already prepared to shoot shit from the beginning of the film. He just didn't know he was going to need that many bullets. So throughout the entire vampire apocalypse, he is still thinking the entire film undertone. If I survive this, I still got to shoot these crackers in the morning.
No, because he said when they bought it, he said, and we bet not see none of your motherfuckers around here or we shooting y'all.
And then that was part of the vampire speech, though, was him trying to convince him to join.
He said, y'all gonna die in the morning.
Yeah, when he told him that, he told him.
But see, my thing was, okay, I did think like were they expecting all of them? I threw my phone. Oh my god!
Not like a grenade.
Were they expecting all of them to fall asleep at the joint? Because
I think they were trying to lock the door, lock them in, and do
but
whatever.
When was they gonna do that at night? Because they didn't even try to come there at night.
They was either gonna send everyone home before sunrise or lock them in and be like, y'all stay here, we gotta handle some business outside. Because there was enough guns for Smoke and Stack to flank them like a true military.
But that doesn't make sense because they never showed up. They never tried to show up at night.
Can we point out how there was blood on the floor when they bought the place?
That's what he said, what happened to the people before, and he just spit on the floor.
Yep.
I was confused by it. I didn't fully understand the history of killing floors up until But so I don't know what the plan was, show you. But I think their goal wasn't to get everybody, but just to take these black people's money and then ruin the building that they bought and just say
I think they were planning to kill them, but it was just like to think that they were gonna be there in the morning. I was like, now like that, like what?
whether they got 1 or whether they got 15, a lynching is a lynching. They were happy to.
Oh,
they were
100%.
They were happy to take black people's money and then kill the people they took the money from.
100%, because that's what made me mad. I said, imagine I just told you this shit. I gave you this bag of money and you still show up. That's what pissed me off.
But then and now you got two twins ex-military who know how to sit here and clearly set up a sniper point and was ready for it. So before we even knew the vampires was coming, they was ready for the skerfuffle in the AM.
Not the kerfuffle.
I have not heard that word.
Not a kerfuffle.
That's not the skerfuffle. Oh no.
That's what I've been using to spoiler-free tell what happens in the beginning. I'm like, they get a little skerfuffle. You know, everybody.
I think the for the blood purposes, like on the floor, I think it definitely represented, you know, the people that they killed there before, and also the fact that it was very obvious that the money that they got, like, not saying it was blood money, but it was definitely not good money. Like it like we know where their money came from, and it was kind of like pieced together throughout the you know, the film with the mobs and everything like that. But it's just like I think I mean there was a lot of foreshadowing in there.
Yeah.
Because that was a piece.
Go ahead, man.
The time to show y'all's point, like I didn't even think about it. What you were saying about how they showed up in the morning, expecting anybody to be there in the first place, but like as the scene unfolded, it made me think of the episode of Dave Chappelle when he shot the slave master, and everybody's like, "Oh," and he's like, "What? I'll shoot a slave master every episode if they let me." I was like, that's all I could think in my head. It's like, I don't know if I actually needed this scene as far as everything else that happened in the movie, but we shooting a bunch of Klansmen. This works.
That is
in 2025 United States.
That is the perfect win to a movie where we technically almost lost everybody. Like, and then what probably ended up being the story is that they found the Klansmen's bodies, but none of ours, and they probably just blamed it on them. Because I was expecting that.
But there's nobody to find. There's nobody to blame because nobody's around.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't see. I guess everyone turned to ash, but they left the Klan corpses there with smoke. So I was expecting old man Sammy to kind of give us that, like, yeah, they just told the story and said Klansmen killed everybody, but I still remember what happened. But that's fine. I know some people say the build-up for it felt like it was too long, but it wasn't. It was letting you know.
No, that's character. That's character
build-up of what?
So that's the complaint. Some people have, like, oh, the first half was too long. It's like, no, it's showing you that these people are important. They're not just characters to kill off later. Everybody
problem with people.
Everybody had a part. Those are the ones who don't.
What
they're the
what
ones.
It takes to have a real story, plot, exposition.
Thank you.
Matters. Like,
see,
what the
here's
hell
the
are
thing.
you talking about?
Most of these people with a TikTok attention span come into a movie theater and they swear up and down that everything's got to be explained within the first 30 minutes, and that's not the case. Nigga, the credits alone will take you about 5, and then you get the setting, which takes about 10. I don't understand it. That's like it. Don't start with y'all. Don't start.
Who is humming, bro?
That's why I threw him up front. I was like, nope, he got this word. He got this word.
Humming, bro.
Shut up while I lay down these vocals. Let him speak.
That's crazy. Every time you do it, I can't help but laugh. But it's true. I first sat in the movie and enjoyed myself because I knew everything, the who, what, why, where, when, and how were going to be placed in that first hour or so. And I was patient. But then what's funny is somebody behind me talking about, when we going to get to the action. I want to say, nigga,
you in the wrong movie.
Well, I don't know what this ain't.
Somebody said that.
Yeah, someone said it behind me, and I said, "Oh, we got this Fast and Furious motherfucker."
This ain't even an action
film.
film.
Here's the problem I have with the people that think like that. You're in the mall. If you've never seen a Ryan Coogler movie,
come on,
at all, like you don't know he does character development in a storyline, like Shoko said, the exposition. There's a reason that's why by the end of this film, well, not the end, but when we get to that climactic scene and Smoke taking out the Klan, and he takes a bullet, and then he sits down and he's trying to roll that cigarette. Mind you, that's normally Stack's job, and he's shaking. and he's thinking about all these people that came to help put this thing together, and then he crumbles it up, snatches that protection bag off, and then that's when he sees Annie with their baby. Any other film where your main
that's
characters
where my
die,
mom.
yeah, any other film where your main characters die and you're just kind of like, you're just like, man, that's kind of messed up. This was not that feeling. You're just like, this is how you tell that story. This is how you make these people.
That was a payoff.
Yeah, I say because like movies
Come
where
on, Elijah.
Movies where everybody gets got, I usually can't watch more than once. Like I think Miracle of St. Anna is a beautiful film, but I can't stand the fact that I know like none of them brothers made it out of there. Except and the only one that made it, I think, was one person and the little boy. But like this movie where like they at least did it in a good way to make you care about everyone, not just I liked him. I thought he had more lines. Nope. Like they built it up, and I was like, "Come on, Smoke, get up, you'll be fine." Once they showed the baby, I was like,
Yep.
Especially after what she said, what Annie told him earlier,
she
was using them bones, and she said, "I'm not gonna make this.
I got somebody waiting for me on the other side. You should join us." Put that. She said, "Don't get no smoke out on this, though."
But to another point in that moment or in those tones, we don't often get somebody that dies and they're at peace. Like
that's what it was. He was okay with it because he at least got Sammy, they all basically talked about like the future out of there. And even when he was talking to Sammy, he was like, "I want to go on the road." No, you're gonna take your ass over there with them older people who know how to act right and will treat you right. Don't like Stack is cool, but he hard headed. You need to go over there. So like again, I repeat, gangsters had decorum back then. Like you didn't involve them in your nonsense. You're like, hey, we live this life because we have to. You don't need to. You need to go over there and get your act right.
And that's the thing. Stack was telling Sammy, you need to take that and you need to go out there in the world. Like, if he didn't do anything else right, I guess you could say, he told that. And Sammy's daddy, played by Saul Williams. It wasn't that Sammy didn't want to be in the church. It's just Sammy's daddy wanted to be a preacher. He's like, God didn't make me to be a preacher. He made me to be a singer.
Sometimes your higher calling is not to be in a town in a house of God. Sometimes your higher calling is to affect change.
He got a gift.
I mean, there was also sharecroppers. I mean, to be honest, nobody wanted to be a sharecropper. So it's just like he had an opportunity, or rather, he didn't really have an opportunity, but he had a gift that he decided, I am getting away from this regardless, which in itself, I was like, that could have potentially been problematic for his family because they were sharecroppers. So him leaving, it's not like we know that he technically could leave. He just decided, I'm leaving. And because I know that this is
the whole song. I'm gonna look.
He got a free
little
car.
Light of mine. Yeah, this little light of mine and everything. That was him saying, God gave me this gift. I'm going to use it. And here's another thing. That scene between him and Remick in the lake.
I thought the water was going to turn to holy. I thought it was going to turn to a holy water lake and call it a day. I wasn't expecting
because he started praying, and I'm like, is this where he blesses the water? But then Remick started repeating the line. He says,
because everybody knows the Lord's Prayer.
Well, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know the Irish. I didn't know the Irish went through their own religious forcefulness in their own.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very heavily.
That's why he was saying it throughout the film. He was like, Sammy, we're the same. We've come. Our backgrounds is generally the same. People forced themselves on us and took our land, took our blood, took our. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, but and you notice in that scene, the megalomania took over because as he's talking and he dunking him underneath the water, I'm going, you get a little bit too headstrong in your victory. You think you're gonna win, and then when Sammy
I
came
think that was all very like I think it had a lot of like religious symbolism in that whole scene. Because yes, the dipping in the water, the reciting of the Lord's Prayer, the baptism, but also the fact that you've got this vampire, the devil quote unquote and it used to be an angel, they know what you are saying. Like, it's not to say that this cannot protect you, but it is to say that your enemy also knows the same things that you are reciting, bro.
Yeah, because these words were taught to both of us by different enemies who took everything from us.
So,
but they
and
tricked
the
us into
only
feeling happy.
thing that was able to help him out of that was the guitar.
And that was such a dope thing, because by the time this movie has gotten so crazy, we don't forgot that silver is even a thing that hurts vampires. Until this dude, I thought
when he does it, and I'm like, oh, that piece was silver.
I never forgot.
I was like, because I just thought it was a cool looking guitar. I ain't think
I looked at
about
the
it
thing.
being
I
silver.
said, that guitar had way too much symbolism behind it. I said that thing is going to have a significance later. And when he hit it with that guitar, I went silver in the well. Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna like take the rest of the guitar and hit him with the stake, but then when Smoke shows up, I'm like, so how did you? Also, the whole he feels everyone's pain, that was kind of confusing because it seemed
the Gestalt
he takes everything from them.
Well,
so
it
everything from them, he like
in
from
most
the scene
vampire-
with the you know, from When It Begins with all the fire and everything, and he says, I want their stories, I want their songs.
No, I know he feels it, but it's like it feels like it was random. And sometimes I'm like, other people get knocked upside the head and everyone's moving just fine, but then one person gets hurt and suddenly everyone. It just
because it's more like for Annie, like someone mentioned in the chat, like they were all sad. In my perspective of that was Annie had so much cultural and spiritual knowledge. Them losing her, not her not being able to turn, which is why she was very adamant on you need to kill me.
Yeah, thank you, East. I was thinking the same thing. The Choctaw in the beginning. I'm sitting there going, where were you?
That's another. That's
not. We learned when we let y'all on the shore. This is your problem now.
Yeah.
This is yours.
That's all like I said, all they had to do was see that robe, and that woman was like, you know what?
Yeah, but with the other cultures in this film, he was on the run from them taking a risk in broad daylight, which means they did something. They put the hurt on him so bad he was willing to risk it with like his biggest enemy, which was the sun, because he's there bloody, burnt, and like one eye swollen shut.
He kind of realized how dumb the people were too. Talking about my wife is hurting me. I'm terrible. I'm sitting there going, if y'all believe this, you deserve everything you get.
No, but I mean they were racist.
And then the native have their own methods of dealing with this and detecting it. So clearly they knew what was up at some point and probably took out whoever he brought with him over there. Yeah. But then when they get to Sammy and them, it's like they try to relate through music, doesn't work. Then they try to relate through their hive mind. So like I got the hive mind set. Like they were all sad. Homegirl didn't get to turn and he honored her wishes. It was just like the pain thing seemed a little flip floppy. But when he hit him with the silver, then Smoke sneak past everybody. That's when I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Like the head vampire, cool. It felt like it was inconsistent with the fodder. And then Slim going out like a real G. We appreciate you, Bill.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Oh, shout out to Delroy Lindo. He did go out like a G.
I do appreciate
I know I'm not gonna make it out of this one, but I'm not gonna let my people go down. I'm gonna make sure I take some of this heat off.
Slim and Sammy very much gave me Sam and Isaiah because the way he's still feeling, we call it church hurt, that church hurt about his music, and he was like, nah, this wasn't forced on us like that religion. This has been with us since before we got here. Mm-hmm. So he was trying to basically telling Sammy to play his heart out, and sure enough, he did.
Piercing the veil.
Mm-hmm.
So now we fast forward to what was it, 92? It was?
Yeah, 1992.
Yeah, 92. And we're in the club Perlene's. Mm-hmm. And that's Buddy Guy that's playing actual blues player, Buddy Guy. He's playing older Sammy, and he's doing his thing, playing a set. And after set is over, club is closing down. Bodyguard says, hey, Sammy, there's people at the door that want to see you. Some fans, they say they want to see you. Bring me in. Who is it? Stack and Mary in a Coogee sweater.
Right? Yo.
Very 90s. Very 90s.
The 90s haircut and all.
The step and everything. And that's when you realize, oh, Smoke couldn't kill his brother because that moment where they were facing off, he had him dead. Sammy had him, not Sammy. Smoke had him dead to rights. Had Stack dead to rights. And he said, "I just been protecting you all my life." He's like, "I just tried to protect you all my life." And he says, "You did." And that's when you find out that Smoke made Stack promise, "Don't touch Sammy," because that's their cousin. He said, "Don't touch him. I don't care about nothing else. Just don't touch him. He has a chance." And he kept that promise. And he said, "I just came in." He's talking about, that electric guitar stuff you play. That's cool, but I like the real stuff. He's like, "Just play me the real stuff." And he plays it for him. They hug because I was a little concerned. I'm like,
"Hey man,
you about to renege on this promise?"
I was nervous.
About to renege on this promise.
He
But
said,
he
"I ain't
does
got
it.
that much life left."
Yeah,
like,
he gives him that big sniff. He's like, "You ain't got much longer." And Sammy says, "Nah, I'm tired of this place." I'm like, "Brother, I feel you."
That whole ending, that's where my mom lost it. That speech he gave at the end where he was just like,
the freedom speech.
Yeah.
That was, he said, Sammy says, "I wake once or twice a week, I wake up paralyzed in fear. But then I think about that day, and it was the best day of my life. Not the night, but it was the best
the sun
day."
went down.
Yeah. And he said, "How was it for you?" And Stack says it was. He was like, "I got to see my brother again. I got to see the sun again." And he said, "For a few hours, we were free." And I'm like, symbolism.
Very.
Damn.
That's what got my mom. I missed the second scene because me and King Lion, we had to rush out past everybody trying to get like footage, and then I heard talking. I'm like, are they still going?
Yeah,
crazy work.
It was a young Sammy playing "I'm Gonna Lit a Sign."
Okay.
In a blues fashion, but he was in the church.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was the movie. 10 out of 10.
I just want to point out, because I don't think there are too many people that have talked about this yet. They only had 4 months to shoot this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
They shot on really hot days and everything.
April to July.
Mm-hmm.
If he had a year to shoot this movie, what would we have gotten?
Hey, look, go ahead and just put the entire director's cut on the DVD for me. Play it. I watch all 3.5 hours. That is the mind of he's from Oakland, right?
He's from the Bay Area. I can't remember.
That is the mind. That is the mind of a cool California native. I appreciate it. And he's been talking like a true California native. Look, this man ain't said the name right in one interview. It's Shinners you going to see, not Sinners, and I appreciate it.
It's Shinners, yeah.
Real quick before we get out of here, quick round to this. This is probably our longest episode yet,
yes.
But this was one of the best movies this year. So we were giving it its time. There was no rushing this.
This is a cultural event.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it still is.
Go see it again.
It is
whether it's the 70 millimeter version in the theaters, whether it's IMAX, go see it again. I'm trying to go see it tomorrow. If I don't, I'm going on Friday or Saturday. But go see it. Go show support. This movie was.
It was 12 out of 10.
At its 5. I want to read. Lainey, I want you to give your review real quick. Your rating, I should say.
Drum roll, please.
Okay, my heart. I'm gonna say it like I said on YouTube on my channel. My heart says 10 out of 10. The horror person says 9.5, so I gave it a 9.75. But it really is. But I just wanted a little more vampires. I can't lie to you. That's how I feel. But it really is a great.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Lady Mandalore.
1,000 out of 10. Like, what are we talking about here? I'm gonna go see it again. I am very proud to say that the IMAX theater, let me actually take a quick peek to see how much the ticket prices are, because I can't remember. Yeah, it's $32.68 to see that movie.
Oh yeah, you got
the. It's worth it. It's worth it.
It is for tomorrow's showings. It is sold out. It is at 90%
I know that's right.
capacity.
Oh yeah,
and at least
do you get to
3
meet
out of the
Michael
4
B. Jordan afterwards?
You get a film reel.
You do this tomorrow. Yeah, starting tomorrow, you get a piece of the IMAX 70mm film when you go in there for as long as it lasts. I don't know how much fucking film that is, but that sounds like a lot of goddamn film.
Yeah.
I might have to leave my mother.
We have
sacrifices will be made. I'm telling you now.
She got the 70mm experience. I have one in Dallas. I'm gonna try to make it.
So, Shoko, what was your rating for this one?
Yeah, Shoko, what is your
mind you, everyone, Shoko don't like much of anything. I'm kidding.
I definitely think I'm gonna have to agree with Lainey and give it like a 9.5. But it's amazing.
Hater.
Yes.
That's not a hater. It's amazing. It doesn't take away from it.
I wasn't thinking about it.
Give me your rating.
10 out of 10. Go support the movie. There's a no bootleg embargo. Get your ass out the seats and go watch the damn thing. If you want to see it at home, you got like 3 months, buddy. Warner Brothers needs money. Please. We didn't forget. Y'all still broke. Please, for the love of God, go buy tickets. Tell your friends. Take the scaredy cats if they need a handheld. The Blu-ray and the Steelbook is already out for pre-order. So if you can, please,
it's already on the docket.
I think they've already had to restock it like once, I think. Also, please have your pitchforks ready because now that you actually have to watch the movies to vote, every category it loses, we know is a snub.
Mayhem. I'm really glad you got in on this one because you are our cinephile of the crew, and your opinion really matters. Because when I seen that scene in the barn, I'm like, he gonna love this. He gonna love this.
Yeah. I guess to some of the people's concerns that we've expressed over the course of the evening, I get how people can say they felt like it was 2 movies kind of stitched together. And I'll say in real time, I was like, I don't know if I need this piece with the Tommy gun at the end. However, caveats always exist. Caveat being you get to mow down some KKKs for I don't need a reason. Do it, put it in your film, love it. The barn scene, that's 1,000 out of 10 in and of itself. That paints over everything else that could have possibly happened in the film. And yeah, man, some well-clothed, well-choreographed hoism. I don't know. I don't know that there is a movie that compares in recent memory whatsoever. It is an experience. You need to go out and see it on the biggest screen possible.
Yes. What you got, Kara? You had another note?
Absolutely should see it.
I do. For the people that are on some ho shit.
Navy.
Oh, wait a minute.
Are you saying Navy's on some ho shit?
No,
that was a shady cut.
It was very, very quickly. You don't actually have to sit in the theater in order to get this thing some money. Go get the bootleg, fine, but give the $20 to the theater so that these people can make their money. That's all I'm saying. Okay, bye.
What my second in command say? She's not lying. Navy.
Oh, hi. Hey, what's going on, y'all? This was definitely 15 out of 10. It was well worth it. This movie, if you missed this movie, that's your fault. Okay. If you are deciding if you want to go see this movie, it is still your fault for not getting up off your ass and supporting this movie. Okay. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Christy, for bringing this up because this deal that he made, it's shaking up the tofu people. I'm telling you that right now.
They mad.
The final edit.
Share the box. So here's his deal. He sought $90 million for the movie. with a few string attached. He needed to retain control of the film's final cut, receive a percentage of the box office gross from the beginning film's theatrical run rather than waiting for a cut after it became profitable, which is most common anyway. He also insisted that the ownership of the film would revert to him after 25 years. He just told WB, "It's mine."
The funny part about that 25,
and he said the reason why he did that was this film. This film was about ownership.
And the fact that the revolutionary for 25 years, 25
which means
years.
You got to talk to him.
And
you got to talk to him.
I forget the
distribution and streams.
I forget the gentleman's name that actually did the deal, but I saw an article about him. He said, "I heard the pitch for what this movie was. I made my next move my best move. Like y'all think this is a crazy deal? I think it's crazy to let this walk and be at somebody else's studio."
No, because that's what happened.
He said he was going to walk it marching somewhere else. Smart move. Thank you, Coogler. And it's going to shake up everything from ownership to black directors and filmmakers going forward. It's about to
yesterday's price.
This is
I will say this for all those that are, because again, I'm the only one in the group that hasn't gone seen it yet because sickness in the family, but it's all good. Please check out a lot of other people's posts about this movie, including Navy and Tafari and Kira's, because they all pointed out certain literature books that are all tied to this, that can be tied or inspired by this movie. So,
and he paid homage to other films that were influenced. Somebody tried to say this is nothing more than Dusk Till Dawn. He didn't pay. Yes, he did. He said it out his mouth.
Yeah, that dude's dusty, curly-headed ass can shut up. Okay,
he said it out his mouth in an interview that Dusk Till Dawn was one of the. There were a lot of vampire films that were influences.
That'll go play.
There is nothing that you can tell me. I don't care what nobody say. There's nothing that you can tell me that this movie mimics. There are a lot of things that people mimic these days, and it's like, okay, originality is kind of like far-fetched. You can't be original as much. There is not another movie that I could say, oh, I thought of when I thought of Sinners because it was like that movie. He didn't rip off nobody. That's a complete lie.
Hold on, Chrissy, thank you. He said he partnered with one of the oldest theaters owned by Allies in Oakland to give it the supreme format, and all seats are $6.
He gives love back to his
city.
Yeah,
thank you.
Hey man, Cali people gonna love they Cali people.
I was gonna say, he did the same thing. I was going to say, didn't he do the same thing with Black Panther too?
Yes, he did.
It did.
Okay.
I was going to say the same thing.
If you want something
he did it for all of his movies. I think he's done it since Fruitvale Station.
Yeah,
okay.
Fruitvale was right there too.
He did it for Black Panther.
And now you see what his support, what support looks like.
It is a win for the entire community and the culture. Minus Shamik Moore. Sorry, bro. If you want something unrelated but like adjacent, place Out the Midnight. Because the second that girl said "haint," I was like, oh shit, we are in this realm.
Playing South at Midnight right after seeing that movie, because I hadn't started playing it until after I saw the movie, was perfect.
So this is
please check out
this movie.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say this movie is a 10 out of 10. I wrote an article for it. Check it out on blerdseyeview.org. Check out everybody's post. Like Spartan said, now go ahead. What you say?
I was gonna say about South of Midnight. Check out Tafari and Kira's and Lainey. I think Lainey's still going through it. Kira and I know Tafari wrapped theirs up. But yep, check it out because that game, and forgive me, I'm brain dead right now. The company behind the game really deserves.
Compulsion Games.
Compulsion Games.
Compulsion Games.
Ahmed Best.
Thank y'all for the free copyright-free soundtrack I can now use. By the way, that background music is getting borrowed a lot
because that soundtrack will have you like, oof. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's some scenes in that game where I'm like, ooh, I gotta call Dad. I gotta call Mom for a second.
So yeah, it's a great day for Black culture, which is every day for me. But please go out, see this film. show your support. Go ahead, Lady Mandalore.
Sorry. Sinners officially has the second best Monday for an R-rated horror movie at the box office.
Let's go.
It beat out the recent iteration of It.
Okay.
Now look how long that took.
It's only been out what?
That's crazy.
It's only been out a week.
Only about a week?
No, not even a week.
No, not a week.
It's not even like my Monday showing was an early invite only showing. I don't even know if we counted technically.
So less than a week.
It starts on Thursday.
Also, whoever's black ass decision was to drop on Easter weekend. I know y'all had to hear some sermons yesterday, boy. I'm sorry, on Sunday. I know y'all had some Easter Sunday.
I'm gonna hear. Let me. Mrs. Fury actually said, "We gonna see Sinners and it's Easter weekend." I said, "Honey, it's not like that. Stop. Don't do that."
Hey man, look, y'all dropped a whole animated film about Jesus and it still lost.
So
I mean, because did you look at the movie?
I saw
Do you know how many saw that movie?
Geographically inaccurate Jesus. That's
You
what I
had
call it.
pastors and preachers at that movie theater just the same. So I don't even want to hear it.
Oh, they had to do homework for the study, and I'm trying to take it that God.
But no, all around from production, behind the camera, in front of the camera, costume design, that cinematography is a beast. That woman, Autumn, has worked on Loki, and she's worked on some other projects that we know about. Fantastic job to everybody. To the Cooglers, Ryan and Zinzi, who is also a producer. You can't get much better. If you're looking for really good storytelling from a different, if Spike Lee even said this is a different type of horror genre. This is different.
And the cosigns after cosigns from Jamie Foxx to Pedro Pascal to Ben Stiller calling people out.
Right. You got Blue Steel coming out.
He said, "How was 60 million a bad opening? It's not. They just hating."
And then Pedro was channeling his inner Mandalorian. Just go watch the effing movie. It's like, go see the effing movie.
Joel died to go see the movie. I'm telling you, this man.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Y'all would know Ben Stiller was down if y'all watched Severance.
No, I'm crying. No,
Ben's been down for a minute.
Sir, I just got Apple TV. Give a brother a second.
So, check us out Thursday. We are live Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, YouTube and Twitch. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. A lot of people tuned in for this one. I didn't know if they would because it's so soon. We normally don't spoil a movie this soon, but this had to be talked about. This had to be discussed. And I'm glad we did it. And this is our longest episode yet. We're going on 3 hours. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Check us out Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, live, YouTube, Twitch, clips Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Check out this entire crew to all their respective places. I know Lady Mandalore did her run Sunday on it. She's like, I am not waiting.
I kept it as spoiler free as I could for Navy's sake, but
and trust me, she did a wonderful job.
But tonight, like,
why you sound like that?
When they said when Spartan said, I didn't get to see it yet, and I'm like,
no,
he won't mind. I know Spartan, he won't mind. It's because I know he'll go see it. It's like,
pretty much.
So this is definitely one for the books. We will see you guys Thursday with a special guest. Ain't no telling what else we're gonna be talking about. Until then, we will see you guys soon. Go show your support. Drop like, subscribe, drop a little dimes in there, whatever. We will see you guys Thursday. Thank you, Coogler. Thank you to the amazing team over at Sinners. Thank you to Coogler's lawyer and agent for running that game.
The lawyer, especially.
They ran that game. Thank you to
WB. There's 4 people around.
Don't give me back to get another clip. We will see you guys Thursday.
I will take it.
Yeah. See
you have to be invited in first, baby.
Bye.
Yeah.